Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Swim or Sink 36. It is I, Mad Gamer II, and I am joined by Shadow Dragon, aka Shads.
Hello! Hope everyone is having a great day celebrating Splatoon's 4th anniversary. We have an awesome set to start things off tonight. Geek, Squid versus a pickup called Affecting Our Reality. So Matt, do you know any of these players on either of these teams?
I'm afraid to say I do not, so this is going to be a new experience for me.
Yeah, the one I really recognize is Roundy on Affecting Our Reality. He used to play with BC Croys way back in the day. Then there was a time where he was just kind of drifting around, and now I believe he's on Crustacean Crusaders. Geek Squid, when they were eligible for it, they were a huge low-ink team. Unfortunately, my team that I'm on never fought them in low-ink, so I know nothing about them other than the fact that they're really nice, everyone really likes them, and they make really cool art.
Indeed. I myself have not gone against them either, but I have seen them around in a couple of tournaments.
It'll definitely be a great set, and we're going to start things off on Splatoon's Inkling Art Academy. Any weapons you want to see?
Zones on Inkblot. Honestly, I would expect to see, if they're going to be running Anchor, Ballpoint or Hydra would be one of my picks.
I'm on a similar opinion, but with the Sniper, I would expect an E-Leader. Long range is the way to go for an Anchor pick here. Firefin is not bad here, but the tower in the center, if you're trying to bomb rush from Plat, it can be a bit iffy.
Having that tower right in the middle zone really makes it difficult for a lot of different specials to paint the zone. Bomb Rush and Booyah would be the biggest two.
Yeah, but something like Rain, that's going to get across the entire zone. I would expect to see missiles. Missiles are huge in the meta right now. Same with armor. So, probably some K-shots. Maybe we'll see someone use a Flingza. Roller could be an interesting pick on this map with the ledges that you can camp underneath.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is a very small map, so while range does have its perks, once you get too close to the enemy plat, then it can be very difficult to take down, like you said, a roller or perhaps even a dualies of some sort.
Looking at the team names a little bit more closely, seeing the tag attached to one of the members on the pickups Affecting Our Reality, it's Kelp. Kelp is on Pure Divinity. If I remember correctly, he is actually a Splatling name. Or they.
I'll be looking forward to that.
Maybe we will see the Hydra after all.
But yes, rain, armor, and missiles would be handy in here, especially for just putting a lot of pressure on the defending teams, because once you get a nice lockout, there isn't much else to do. But there doesn't seem to be any backline except for the one E-Leader, as you mentioned.
Yeah, E-Leader with Respawn Punisher to boot. Double last-ditch effort, and this with the mini and it ends up on the side of Geek Squid, finally capping it all up to 52 Kensa version, which is very popular right now. Meanwhile, on the side of Affecting Our Reality, we see a Blobber. Very interesting pick there. Din ends up as well for their armor weapons, Tetras, and Kelp actually running the Bomb Rush Splash-O-Matic. And things are going to start off really quickly with a cap for Affecting Our Reality. Sirius taking to the top of the map. Wonderpete's going to try and get across to the enemy plat and maybe do some damage up there.
Yeah, once you get up into the enemy plat, it can be a little dangerous, but having that artistic tree in the middle there for defense and cover can be pretty helpful. And the E-Leader proved us wrong, but it is difficult to hit people once they get really up against the ledges like that.
Yeah, Sirius doing a nice job getting that splashdown to land 2 down on the side of Geek Squid. The Blobber is actually doing a really good job with the ledges, bouncing those bubbles up onto the top. Already down to 25 seconds, less than 25 seconds remaining actually, for Affecting Our Reality. This is looking like it might be a very quick knockout.
Absolutely, and honestly, the bucket pick, it was something we didn't mention before, but it is very powerful on a map like this with all the ledges and stuff. I think the Blobber in particular, with that bomb rush, is able to just put all the pressure onto the plat and just keep them from getting to zone.
Yeah, the Blobber, especially more so than I would say the other sloshers, has that advantage to bounce the bubbles off the walls and get it further onto the enemy plat, which is very helpful.
Absolutely.
And it paints like a dream. It's got the sprinkler, it's got the bomb rush, Blob puts out a decent amount of paint itself. it's just a really great zones weapon.
Mm-hmm.
In theory. In practice, with the current meta, not so much, but as we just saw, it can work wonders on the right stage and on the right hands.
Absolutely. Speaking of stages, next up we're going to be having Tower Control and Anchovy Games. Another small map, but quite a different, I would say, terrain. Although you still have that dip in the middle with rising bases on both sides, there's a lot of overhang that can block potentially missiles and booyah bombs if you're not careful.
Yeah, I don't know per se if we will see a Stingray. We might, given the fact that Co-Spirit hasn't readied up yet and they were the one running the E-Leader last game. I imagine we'll stick with at least one armor. I have to wonder if Sirius will do the Tetras again. There is a possibility that Sirius is actually Arcanagon or Allie, who is also on Crustacean Crusaders, and she's a Tetra main. So that is Allie with playing under the name Sirius. I could see her running Tetras again, but I'm not sure if it is.
Well, I could definitely... Stingray, well, it is Tower Control. Stingray can be, I guess, a little bit more difficult just because of the nature of this map, but definitely it's also, once you get able to push up and lock them out, it can be hard to get back in, so it's definitely seeing that Tetra 2 has come back out might be a decent pick for pushing that plat.
Yeah, but we'll see what teams run in a minute. Anchovy Games, affecting our reality, currently up 1-0 over Geek Squid. This first play all 3 sets.
It'll be interesting to see. While there are 3 checkpoints on this map, they're very close together, so it can be quite the gauntlet.
So we do see that Co-Spirit has brought out the vanilla splat charger, so they do have a Stingray. Interesting pick for their missile weapon, however, Orange NZAP, not something you often see. H3D for their armor weapon, and then to round it all off, an Octoshot, classic old but good weapon. Meanwhile, on the side of affecting our reality, we still see the Blob. The Tetras have swapped to a Kenta machine, so still Splash on weapon. They also have an Octoshot, and their NZAP is more traditional gray NZAP pick, so they have that for their armor weapon. One down on the side of Geek Squid already. Both teams really just kind of try to splat it out in mid and get some picks so they can get something moving.
Yeah, we see that Inkjet making use of the unique terrain on this map, getting pretty darn high and able to at least get the 2 assists off there. And it looks like they're going to be pushing to that first checkpoint. Double bucket, I have to say, I will be very powerful on this map with the extra ledges that the defending team has to come from.
Yeah, one thing that we didn't really talk about at the beginning, Bucket, very, very strong pick on this map traditionally. Just all the extra ledges make it very, very nice splashdown cancel there by Co-Spirit on series. But the ledges make it very easy to splat people above you. Full wipe on the side of affecting our reality as Geek tries to push forward and get this map painted green, because it is very blue at the moment.
Yeah, I think having that blob and that NZAP really went to town and painted the whole map blue, but looks like they're making quick work at turning it back to yellow, and that's the Octoshot going down while they're pushing their first checkpoint.
Yeah, the first checkpoint is definitely going to be a bit difficult to get through if they do not have that flat cleared out, but it looks like between the missiles and the ray, they're doing a good job. Excellent use of the ray missile combination there to clear that area out. 2 down on the side of affecting our reality, make that 3 down, and Aimer gets the 4.
Bucket is certainly trying, but it looks like they're able to back up and just barely hold on for the rest of the team to come out and try to defend this second checkpoint. That's the lead for Geek Squids, and they're a 2v2 at the moment, and it looks like they're going to have to back up.
Still, well, 27 points remaining. Very, very good for them. That is verging on the edge of the state. Once you get past that third checkpoint in Anchovy, that's when things get super, super safe, but still right around the 27 point, anything less than 30, very good on this map. It is traditionally very hard to push that far in.
For sure. I think because of where the second checkpoint is, it can be easy to just rain fire down on the tower to keep them from getting through it. So it is a very decent lead, able to get through that second checkpoint. It looks like affecting our reality is going to have to make that same push now themselves.
Yeah, we did see that the Charger jumped out to save that Stingray, and it does find the Octoshot. 3v3 situation, and both Octoshots down, make that a 3v1 situation, affecting our reality, going 2 down to a combination of, it looks like the H3 and maybe the Charger. but they're going to keep this push going, though. Help's the only one alive right there. He's going to have to get that charger down, and he does. Three down on the side.
That was a very excellent push. The Blob was able to hold on with the bomb rush in order for their teammate to come in and be able to clean up the rest of the Squids. They are making through that second checkpoint already on the third, but unfortunately they go 2 down. Oh, it seems only the Chargers remaining, and they're going to get through that checkpoint, perhaps the knockout as well.
I think we're going to see a knockout, and we do. 2-0 to Affecting Our Reality. But Geek Squid fought very hard on that one, and they really had it Affecting Our Reality on the ropes for quite a while.
Absolutely. It was a very close set, and honestly, it came really down to the wire, though. There was plenty of time left in the match.
Yeah, and then, like I said earlier, about 30, anything under 30 is good on this map, but it's not safe, and Affecting Our Reality just managed to get those 3 down and then into a wipe situation to really help them cement that.
Absolutely.
So we finish things off on Clan Blitz Make Mark. Thoughts on this stage?
Well, this will be quite a fun match to watch. Honestly, all 3 of these maps have been very close quarters, but I think Makamart in particular will be, especially with Clan Blitz, the mode is very, I'd say, volatile. Lots of places for very short-range weapons to hide and really sneak in there if they're not careful.
Yeah, I could see that Chico would stick with the Blob. He readied up right away, so I'm guessing that they are. It's a great map for sloshers in general. Again, lots of changes in elevation. You get people that are above you easily.
Now, if I remember correctly, Clan Blitz, there are lots of avenues in order to get up onto the enemy plat, so I think, yeah, as you said, the buckets and the Blob will have a lot of luck being able to do that and be able to put a lot of pressure in as they push the basket.
I'd expect armor to stay. Missiles can be pretty good for clearing people away from the basket on this map. Booyah Bomb, again, very good, clearing people away from the basket on this map. Have to wonder if Sirius is going to do Tetris again. Tetris would be an interesting pick.
I'm honestly curious whether Geek Squid will keep the backline with the Charger. I know it could be rather tough trying to get picks on this map.
I don't think they have their backline in. I'm pretty sure that their backline subbed out almost instantly because I see Bowen in the lobby now, and I don't think Bowen was playing the past 2 games.
I see.
Not 100% sure on that though. Who would see backline? If I did, I would expect it to be a remix or do a quasi backline like a Bamboo. Now,
I will say Hydra is particularly powerful on this map, even though it's got the range, but also the fall-off damage to boot. But I guess we shall see. No backline on either team, it seems.
Yeah, so Affecting Our Reality has chosen to stick with the same comp as last time. Meanwhile, Geek Squid almost complete comp redesign. They have an armor weapon in the NZAP, but they also have a tri-saucer, which is new. They have not had a tri before. Somebody is back to the Kenta 52 and the vanilla dually saucers. Already 3 down on side of Geek Squid. Sorry, Affecting Our Reality. The colors are backwards on this.
That was very quick work by the Slosher, and I think that's the Slosher Nouveau with the rain and the splat bomb, which will become very handy on this map, and just really making use of all the, as you said, the elevation.
Yeah, here comes that bomb rush though from the Blob, and the Blob has a lot more range than the Tri-Slosher, so it's going to be able to do a lot more damage in the range games here. 3 down on the side of Geek Squid, Affecting Reality getting a full life now on them, so they're going to build a clam pretty quickly as the members of Geek Squid start to respawn and trickle back in.
And as you can see, the Blob there was running some thermaling, so there wasn't really anywhere for them to hide. Even the Booyah was not able to save them. If they're able to keep open this basket, they're going to get a pretty decent lead.
Yeah, only down to 74 though. 13-point penalty. One power clam will clear that up. But given the fact that that push spawned off a wipe, you would kind of expect to get a little bit more.
Well, as it is, still pretty early in the game. Perhaps not as many clan pots has spawned at that point.
Always a possibility. One down on the side of Geeks. And then as one unrespawns, the other one dies. Nice trade there. Unfortunately, though, numbers in favor of affecting our reality as the third one goes down.
Very unfortunate. It looks like affecting our reality already has another power clam and getting a lot of map control with that bomb rush. We'll see if they're able to put more score on them, though they don't seem to have as many clams on hand at this time.
They don't, but every little bit helps, and it is important to note that there are 2 people on Geek Squid that have lots of clams that are in their base. So if they had managed to kill those 2, that would have been another 7 clams, 21 points right there.
That is a fair point.
2 down on the side of affecting our reality as they respawn and the push comes to an end.
And unfortunately, it looks like 2 more members of the Geek Squids went down. 2 more once again. That blob is... Oh, they weren't just able to get the Tri-Slosher, and the Tri-Slosher goes down themselves.
Yeah, Tri-Slosher picked an unfortunate 2v1 scenario there. Surroundy has Power Clam currently for affecting our reality, just launched armor. I would imagine that Pickup is going to start trying to push in. 1 down on side of the Squid, make that 2, that 3 downs for complete wipe.
That is indeed unfortunate because there are quite a few clans within the base ready to be picked up and thrown in on that game. 3-0 for affecting our reality.
Yeah. That last push was excellent. Just
indeed.
Entire team down, instantly rushing in, building that ball, getting it into the basket, and tossing in all the clams they can. And then the aggressors on affecting our reality pushing up to stop Geek Squid from coming out of the base.
Yeah, they really put on the pressure, put on the aggression, and been able to keep them blocked out just enough time for them to get the rest of the clans in to get their knockout.
And we did have confirmation from our Magic Streamer man, Kraken, that Sirius is Allie from Crustacean Crusaders. So, definitely kind of surprised not to see her play Tetris there.
That is curious.
But it worked. It most certainly worked.
Oh, absolutely. I think they performed very well. Both teams performed pretty well. And I'd say that it was, even though the numbers say otherwise, it was a very close matchup.
Yep. So moving on, round 2. Mystical Ink versus Twilight Anglers. What do you know about these teams?
Unfortunately, these are 2 more teams I have not heard a lot about, but I am very much liking their team names and I'm intrigued to see what they have to show.
Well, I know a decent about the Anglers because my team scrims them fairly often. So way back in the day, like we are talking like 2 years ago, IPL's very own Hoenn Hero was on the Anglers. Nowadays, his younger brother Star is on the team. I believe there is Bob, their sniper. Let me poke around on their server and see who else is playing. Bros, who is a captain. He's an NZAP player. Prankster, who I'm guessing is new because I don't recognize their name, and Akira. I do know that they went through some roster changes recently, a little bit of shakeup. So, 2 people I recognize, 2 people I don't. Meanwhile, we can have the team rosters pulled up on the screen. Just gonna take a look at this roster real quick.
You know, it's funny, I actually ran into Kit Kat and Akira in League earlier today. That was a whole lot of fun.
Kit Kat must be Prankster then. I don't recognize anyone on Mystical Ink.
What kind of weapons do you think we can expect to see from the Twilight Anglers?
If they're gonna run a backline, it will be a scopeless charger. I've never seen T-Bob play the scoped version.
Interesting.
Bros probably will run NZAP. Akira and Kit Kat, I'm guessing, are players which, if I'm going with meta picks, I would guess maybe a Knot, maybe Kensa 52, probably K-Shot. But those are just, I guess, based off of the meta.
Mm-hmm.
Not really sure anything about Mystical Ink. If anyone in the chat knows anything and wants to enlighten us, please feel free. We'll say this from a cosmetic reason. From a cosmetic standpoint, I love the look of the tag in Diane and Jess's name. I think that was very nice.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll start things off. Rainmaker Starfish. Thoughts on this?
Starfish Rainmaker. I'm not generally a Rainmaker fan myself, but I have to say Starfish is one of the better maps for a Rainmaker in my opinion. So I have to say I think Starfish is just one of my favorite maps in general. It is a bit of a gauntlet trying to get the Rainmaker to the podium. You have to maneuver through some tough spots in the enemy base. If you plan to take it along the lower route, you'll have lots of enemies trying to rain fire down upon you. If you do manage to make the jump up to the top left, then you have a little bit of easier time, but still it's pretty close to the respawn point, so they'll be coming back in full force.
Yeah, this one's always been interesting. I was just playing it earlier because it was on the stage rotation. Going the right route for pushing in, if you've got buckets, that is going to rain a lot of pain down on the Rainmaker.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
I totally didn't mean for that to run, but it did, so... So I could see buckets. Tri-Slosher could be an interesting pick here. Different armor weapons in the NZAP. Since it is Rainmaker, occasionally I've seen T-Bob run Bamboozler or even the Sploosh 7 for his weapon instead of going with an anchor weapon, so they could go anchorless.
Yeah, it's not a bad map for going anchorless, and even though it's not quite as prevalent as it is to zones or tower control, having an anchorless would make much better use, I think, of the flanks, able to get the drop on the enemy team. But again, because they'll be running Rainmaker, they'll be pushing mostly through the center.
Yeah, so here we go, Rainmaker. Starfish main stage. Team slotting in, T-Bob choosing to go with the Slosher, although there is a bucket in the full arm of the Soda Slosher. So we have NZAP, Sniper, Soda Slosher, and Drop Roller on the Octoshot, which would be interesting to see if anybody on Mystical Ink will be expecting that when they try to camp any Inkjet down spots. Meanwhile, on the side of Mystical Ink, we have the Jet, which is a very nice mobile backline weapon, Classic Junior, K-Shot, and the Inkjet Nautilus. So we will hopefully be seeing some Inkjet fights. One down on the side of Twilight Angler. Looks like he got killed on the flank. Not sure by what.
That is tough going along that lower side. It's very easy to fall into the water. But I have to say, I do like the Inkjet pit here. It is very handy for getting into places that would not normally be reached, especially against the defending team. Looks like we have a 1v1 with a splatter shot coming out on top. 2 down for the side of Mystical Ink, and 3 down actually with the Junior now backing up to mid, just trying to hold some map control.
Yeah, that was smart for the Junior to back up, and it definitely looks like the counter shot was not expecting the drop roller on that at Octoshot, which is why you should always remember, check what the other people are running once you start. Alright, Twilight Anglers making a push, unfortunately dying to, looks like trade with the Junior, don't care if that's the same weapon or the bomb. Missiles come out, Kit Kat rolling out of the way of those, very good to survive them. So, 60 to 64 right now, technically Anglers have the lead, but it's not a safe lead for either team. That is easy to surpass.
It's a very close lead. It looks like the Mystic Ink was able to hold down the fort with the splatter shot coming in from above, and the Stingray just watching the Rainmaker, and so looks like it's going to be reset and just taken at it again.
Now, specials coming out, one member of Twilight Anglers jumping LA to get rid of the Phantom Missiles, 2 down on the side of Twilight Anglers. Important though, Stingray almost on the line. Stingray online. I'm fresh up, but 3 down on the side of Twilight Anglers. Last number stuck in range, so a very, very effective push here for Mystical Ink. If they get it all the way down to 39, not sure they'll be able to get it much further. No, they won't. 3 down on the side of Mystical Ink. That push will be over and done with.
Yeah, it was an excellent move by the Charger. He was the last one standing, but was just able to take the Rainmaker out to stall it up enough for his team to respawn and keep them from getting any more points off that push.
It looks like they are just going to let it reset naturally, which is kind of a risky move. They do have mid-green, but Mystical Ink could have flanked around and picked that Rainmaker up.
Yeah, you would have been able to get it pretty far before they would have even been able to react, I think. But it looks like it was able to successfully reset with Stingray online for both sides, plus an Inkjet for Twilight Anglers, and 2 down for the Mystic Ink. So this might be another push we're seeing here. The Stingray does jump out.
Stingray fight! Looks like enemy Stingray down for Twilight Anglers. And they've got the lead all the way to 17, which is really, really good.
Yeah, that was an excellent push. It looks like the Charger ended up winning the Stingray fight, allowing the Rainmaker to push all the way up to the 17, as you said. And so now it's going to have quite the uphill battle in order to get that lead back.
Yeah, and unlike a Mystical Ink push to 39, which is a good push, it's not in the realm of safe, whereas 17 is just on the edge of that step into spawn that all Rainmakers have to go up no matter which way you climb. It's going to be difficult to get all the way up.
But Kit Kat here on the splash shot, really chasing down that Rainmaker and making sure they go down. But it looks like it's going to be 1 down for both sides, and unfortunately that would be the Squelcher on the side of Mystical Ink, so although I don't know what I'm saying, the Squelcher will be able to get that Stingray back, no problem.
Yeah, you can see he respawned with about 30 odd points, and now he's almost doubled it. 1 minute remaining. It is still possible for Mystical Ink to win this. Inkjet coming out, trading with the Rainmaker for the knock out that kill. 2 down on the side of Twilight Anglers. Important to note though, their Stingray still online and out it comes, so they're going to have to push up really hard and really fast to get that raid before it kills the Rainmaker. Not able to find it in time. Blend down on the side of Mystical Ink is really a last-ditch effort almost for Mystical Ink stars.
It was very hard for the Inkjet. Wasn't quite aware of his surroundings, ended up bonking his head on the grates above and wasn't able to get as much air as he would have hoped, I think. It looks like they're going to be very close to getting that lead. They're only 4 points away, and yet, unfortunately, 2 don't go down for Mystical Ink with only 10 seconds left.
Yeah, but the missiles come out. 2 down on the side of Twilight Anglers. As Diane comes out, they get 3 down.
Holy moly!
I think they got the lead.
1 point. They got it by 1 point before it went down.
Amazing.
Down to the wire. That was very impressive showing for Mystical Ink.
Well, it's still very impressive showing from Twilight Anglers as well to get it to such a tight lead in the first place.
Oh, absolutely.
We love the nail-biting end.
Next up, we'll be going to one of my favorite map mode combinations, Splat Zones on Wahoo World.
Oh, this is one of my favorites too. What's your weapon of choice here?
That's a tough one. Sometimes I go remix with the Booyah Bomb, or sometimes I like to bring out Ballpoint with the beacons in the rain.
See, I do E-Leader here. I like E-Leader here. Rain and
yes. I have definitely come up against several in E-Leader on this map, and it is painful.
I think, though, if we see T-Bob run a backline, he'll probably go Firefin. Not sure about Mystical Ink. Jet Squelcher is probably the easiest backline to pick up. So I could see their backline.
That is true.
Not. I don't know if it's more indicative of them using snipers or more indicative of them using Splatling.
I think if they did decide to use the Jet Squelcher again, missiles would be an excellent pick for zones. It'll put a lot of pressure on the enemy team, as well as or in particular the enemy backline, but also that poison mist, because if there is very narrow gaps in order to get to zone, it will be a nice buffer in order to slow them down.
At the same time, though, Stingray isn't completely useless here. I do think, though, that there's at least one Splatling and one Sniper that outclass the Jet Squelcher on this stage. Like, even in the traditional regular sniper and regular Splatling, not even considering the longer range ballpoint E-Leader Hydra.
That is true. There is some, on the defending side, once you get control zone, there is some nice areas in order to hole up or hide behind with the walls surrounding the zone, as well as that one on the little corner of the drawbridge, I would say.
You know what would be funky? Seeing one of the backlines pull out something unexpected, like either the Explosher or a Dynamo. That could be interesting. There are the ledges, you can hide behind them, flick ink over, and you're pretty safe.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, you don't necessarily even have to be up on top in order to ink the zone. You get some nice fling, either with the, like you said, the Explosher or the Dynamo. You can pretty much get it from the carousel.
Yeah, so you really gotta wonder what they're gonna do. And I think it would be interesting to see Dynamo be played.
Well, as we're getting started, we shall see what both teams have decided to come out with. We have an E-Leader for Tabob, and then a remix for the, looks like the Mystical Ink.
Yeah, so I think that kind of answers our question whether or not Mystical Ink's backline is a Splatling person versus a Sniper person. I am surprised to see T-Bob play E-Leader. I've never seen him play it before, so that would be interesting. It's important to note it's the unscoped version, not the scope, so a little less range. Nice pick there on the flanking, I believe is a K-shot. Or is it not regular shot? I'm not sure. Okay, it's a K-shot.
Yeah, it's a Kensa with missiles. Octo shot for the side of Anglers. I have to say, I do like for E-Leader, even though you did a little bit less range, I prefer the unscoped version simply because it is a little bit slower charge, so having that little bit of extra mobility helps a lot, I'd say.
Yeah, Angler's already getting it down to about 50 points. They're going to shred that Booyah Bomb. Unfortunate for the Splatling there, and it's not really going to do much other than delay the Anglers. Missiles come out as well. Those probably needed to come a bit sooner, but 2 down on the side of the Anglers, including their E-Leader, so that is going to make it a lot easier for Mystical Ink to push in. Rose having to back off here, trying to save that armor. Not able to do it as Diane finds him.
An excellent cap for the side of Mystical Ink, and able to just push it into lockout. It looks like we have some contestant on the zone. Almost went back to green before, once again, being capped again by Mystical Ink.
That probably was from the Slosher's burst bomb rush. You know, the Slosher died, and he's respawned with no special at all. And speaking of Slosher, down he goes again, along with his companion Octo shot. E-Leader still hanging up on the top left, most likely, since that is the safest. Nope, he's pushed forward, but he is getting pincered along with Bros. That's going to be 2 down very quickly, and the respawns are staggered down, which is never a good thing.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. As we get down to the last 30 points of the zone, if they're not careful, they might just get the knockout here. But it looks like the Bomb Rush is coming out, able to stall the zone, get 2 picks, 3 picks for the sloshing machine, not the sloshing machine, the soda slosher, and able to cap the zone before they can take the KO.
Yeah, that was a really, really well-timed bomb rush from Akira, and he did really well to get the double kill there. Now he's going to push up and harass that Splatling, who's most likely going to be hanging up on the top right. Booyah Bomb is out. Other members are going to start funneling in. Missiles come out too better this time with the timing for them to come more in sync with the Booyah Bomb. Diane going to go for a flank. Does manage to pick the Soda Slosher. He's going to find another one real quick. Lines 2. Last one alive is E-Leader. He's going to have to jump out. Looks like he is going for it, and he does manage to make it out alive. So let's save that range, which is important for pushing back in.
That was an excellent push. Excellent push by the Booyah Bomb, and the missiles able to clear that plat enough to distract the bucket long enough for the splatter shot to make a flank like that and get the 2 picks. And still up and kicking, able to take 2 more members down before going down themselves. It looks like the zone has turned back to green in favor of Twilight Anglers.
Yeah, 3 down on the side of Mystical Ink. Gigas is going to have to toss that Booyah Bomb onto the zone and jump out. It's not going to do a lot. Does delay the Anglers a little bit. Kit Kat pushing up onto the left class area of the map. Trying to make sure nobody flanks T-Bob from the left-hand side. 8 seconds remaining on the penalty for Twilight Anglers. They're about to get points very soon. 2 down on the side of Mystical Ink, as it looks like the other 2 members are going to start trying to funnel in, almost a little bit desperate.
Yeah, once again, they were 2 down and a little bit staggered. It's going to be difficult for them to get to the zone within the next 10 seconds, but they're making a very excellent attempt to do so.
And that will be a game for Twilight Anglers.
We are now 1v1.
Right now, Anglers did a good job keeping their heads cool and coming back in, especially with that last takeover. Mystical Ink had some pretty good special synergy, especially the second 2 times where they did the Booyah Bomb and the missile push back into the zone.
Yes, I would say that was pretty excellent. Though the turning point definitely was with the 2 down with the bucket and the bomb rush, able to take back the zone within that last 30 points of the zone.
Yeah, Mystical Ink needs to keep their heads a little bit cooler and not kind of feed in like they did at the end. They were very staggered with their respawns. They needed to wait, get their specials, push in as a group. If they had managed to get the Booyah Bomb, and missile combination out again, that probably would have at least let them push in to contest the zone, but they kind of fed in without waiting for their teammates to respawn, get their specials, and then one of the key members of that Booyah Tentacles combination, K-Shot, went down. And they weren't able to get anything up in time.
That was very unfortunate.
Oh, unfortunate for Mystical Ink. Great for Twilight Anglers. So we'll finish off Power Control Manta Maria. I expect T-Bob to go back to the unscoped Hero Charger.
You have to say, Stingray is definitely viable on this map and mode, with the tower having to go through another very, I'm going to say, gauntlet of a narrow path up the street and get past the, I'm going to say, the snipe, or no, just the wall there that they can peek over.
So we do see a return to the Sea-Jet for Gugo. And it's the special charge up tenacity variant. So that's going to be a pain in the butt in terms of lots and lots of stingrays. Kenza Luna Blaster, interesting pick. We don't see a lot of blasters. It's never really been a great weapon for this meta. Kenza Luna Bow has the 50s, has the range, which will help it deal with armor and its paints. Meanwhile, on the side of Twilight Anglers, the Soda Slosher has been swapped out for a Vanilla Slosher, so they have missiles.
Yeah, like you said, the Lunar Blaster isn't necessarily viable in this current meta, but I think on this particular map, it can do some serious damage with the rain and the fizzy bombs, doing a little bit of chip damage and then coming in to finish them off when they're distracted.
Yeah, so 1 down on the side of Twilight Anglers. That would be the bucket that we've been talking about. Ray out and Inkjet out, though. We see an Inkjet fight. Beautiful sneak attack there on KitKat. I just looks like they weren't expecting that at all. Bucket is over on the left flat area. On the upper left now. Takes out the Tower Rider. That would be Kenza Luna. Just trying to keep that bunker cleared out for Mystical Ink. That's super important on this net. You really cannot push past the first checkpoint unless you at least have that bunker partially cleared out. The T-Bob's going to just waltz right up and take out Jess. Excellent snipe there. 3 down on the side of Mystical Ink.
Yeah, like you said, taking that bunker is crucial for getting past the first checkpoint, and T-Bob was there to make sure they did not do that.
Yeah, I really like how T-Bob has been pushing up with team. Oh, that is not a good Ray position for Mystical Ink. And 2 down on the side of Twilight Anglers. They managed to save their way, take out the enemy Stingray. Oh, well, T-Bob's going to have to jump out to save that one. Not quite breaking the checkpoint, but a good attempt.
It looks like they had gone 2 down, so that was an excellent jump out by the Charger. Able to save his Stingray for the defensive push, and still able to survive to come back with his team.
Meanwhile, the armor comes out to counter that Stingray, so that's a good use of the armor there by Mystical Ink. 1 down on the side of Mystical Ink, though. 3v3 on the map for Team Diane, doing a good job with that Kenza Luna to really stay alive on that tower. They're going to have to back off. The Charger is down, both backlines down. As the match is still very, very much, I would say, in neutral. Oh, nice direct there.
Yeah, most of the action has not left the center area, and both teams are doing an excellent job of keeping the tower away from that second checkpoint and just keeping it in mid where it can be more or easily contested.
Yeah, finally getting a little bit more points on the board for Mystical Ink. Akira, though, doing a good job to stop that from pushing too far up in the bunker with the reach of that Slosher. You've got to know that Jess is up there, and that manages to take out the Nautilus. The Stingray is out, though, as a 2-down situation on the side of Twilight Anglers. Akira way out in mid. He's coming from behind, but they're going to almost clear that second checkpoint.
Well, there was a good thought of trying to take out the Stingray. Unfortunately, he was a little bit out of position because the checkpoint, or the tower's already made it past the second checkpoint, and really put in a significant lead for Mystical Ink.
Yeah, third stick is very good on this map. Anything past the second checkpoint is very good on this map. Anything past the third checkpoint, you might as well have knocked it out.
Mm-hmm.
Because things really start snowballing once you get past the second checkpoint.
I definitely think the Stingray Nautilus combo is putting a lot of pressure on that the defending team, especially that back line. While the Chargers can make some excellent pushes or excellent picks to keep the tower away, they unfortunately have not been able to contest the Stingray.
Yeah, which is very sad because since it's a Charger versus C-Jet matchup, with those Ray fights, the Charger needs to win those. The C-Jet's going to get more Rays, the Charger has to make all their Rays count. And sadly, they haven't been able to win any of the Rays part. Beautiful snipe there, though. Doesn't look like T-Bob's gonna stay alive for very much longer, though. But it looks like one of his teammates came to help out the Charger. 2 down, courtesy of Diane. Very nice double direct there, as Rose finally takes out the blaster and gets the tower moving in Twilight Angler's favor.
I say that was very excellent awareness of the Luna's range, able to take down 2 members from above without being able before getting taken down themselves. But unfortunately, we are down into the last 10 seconds with the Ray coming out. Looks like Twilight Anglers are really going to have to put the pressure on to get past the second checkpoint.
Yeah, 3 down on the side of Twilight Anglers thanks to the GG Ray. Mystical Ink's blaster looks like it hops on the tower. 2-1 Mystical Ink's favor. But still, though, from watching this set versus other sets that I've seen Twilight Angler play in the past, both playing against them and commentating them in this tournament and other tournaments, they have come a long way. I think that their new roster changes have definitely helped them in terms of their aggression, which is one of their biggest issues. Issues is a very negative word, but one of their biggest problems was that they played very passively, and they've done a good job at mitigating that.
I see. Well, that is definitely an excellent thing to improve upon. I myself have really worked hard to, I guess, be a little bit more aggressive and not quite as passive as you said.
Yep. I think we are going to take a very short break and come back with our third group stage in a moment. So, you're watching SOS.
Welcome back to Sink or Swim. We are going to be going into Clams Piranha, looks like, with Couch versus Silver Armor, Silver Armor.
Silver Armor squared. Everyone loves armor. So, do you recognize anyone on here? Because I see a couple names that I recognize. Or, well, a name and a profile pic.
I feel like there's a lot of names that ring a bell, but I can't place the name to the faces, so to speak.
So, Crimson on Silver Armor, I believe used to be on All-Star Squad way back in the day. Like, we are talking like year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. Authentic on Couch was on a team that won Low Ink back in, I think, this fall. Like last fall. I don't remember the team name exactly. I want to say Pulp might have been on the same team. But overall, two pickup teams from the looks of it.
I see. Well, we're going to have a very interesting match going into Clams Piranha. Honestly, I'm not quite sure what to expect on this map as far as weapon comps go.
Okay, so Slashers can be good here, especially on the conveyors. Stingray, great special weapon here. It's a very flat, open map. It's perfect for Stingray, but Booyah Bomb is also good. A tent could be interesting. Tent always makes things interesting.
Yeah, especially for Clam Blitz, they are quite the tank.
Yeah, special comp-wise, already mentioned Stingray, armor. What would be ironic is if Silver Armor does not run armor. That would be ironic and hilarious. I don't think we'll see it.
Though I do think Inkjet would also be another nice pick. We have been seeing a lot of Nautiluses and Octoshots coming out in the past couple of matches.
Yeah, Inkjet is really good, especially by the basket. There's the grates there that the enemy team can hang out on, and part of it is very difficult to access even with bombs. There's another reason why sloshers are so good on this map. Booyah Bomb, excellent here. Might see remix. Could see the Kens 52. Walls are pretty good here as well. If you wall off an area for your team to safely stand underneath the basket, prevent them from being shot at. We've seen some pretty creative uses of walls, not necessarily this SOS, but in the past couple of weeks. So definitely could see some interesting wall plays here.
Yeah.
Bubbles again, safe spaces for enemies to hide underneath in the basket.
And if we happen to get some really cheeky squids, maybe some beacons out.
Maybe we'll see the beacon bubble tent.
Ooh, yes.
Well, no tent. We do see a Bambovo, everybody's favorite meme stick. And Slosher or Crimson, double Slosher actually, on the side of Silver Armor. And then the Couch has a more traditional backline, that being the Fire Fin, so could see some interesting wall plays. Quickly down to a 1v1 already.
That was quite the opening set there. Looks like with the Couch respawning with the Charger coming out first, trying to get some special up. It looks like a Power Climb already for Couch. I'm surprised they had that. Oh yeah, but
unfortunately, though, they had to go all the way down, and that definitely hurts them for letting their team push in. They couldn't get that quick toss into the basket, so 80-point push, not really a good push on this map. Some maps, it can be a decent push, 80. No, not on this map. It's easy to overtake it. Things snowball really quickly. 2 down on the side of Couch's Silver Armor is pushing up. That Bamboozler is putting in work. The Bomb Rush is out from the Soda Slosher. You can see, looks like Bamboozler is going to toss clams forward, try and get a power clam to be formed. The Firefin, however, getting 2 teammates coming in to clean up the other 2 full wipe on the side of Silver. So they don't have a really good push either. All they did was give Couch a free power clam, essentially.
Yeah, unfortunately that Bamboo strayed a little bit too close to the Firefin, and that was the wipe, as you said. Because of the nature of Clam Blitz, Couch still holds the lead by a point, and it is still anyone's game.
Yeah, both playing a little daring there, walking in front of the wall. You can see somebody on Couch is trying to come over the line. One of the shooters, looks like it's K Pro. Booyah is out. The Firefin is down on the side of Couch, but 2 are going to team up on that Pro. Oh, unfortunately, there looks like the Slosher, the Soda, went for a swim.
Wow, that was certainly a lot of fun for us commentators. It was very unfortunate for the player. Looks like the Pro was able to survive quite a bit before getting taken down by the Slosher. And it looks like 3 down for Couch once again.
Yeah, that was a good burst bomb combo with the Slosher main weapon to get the kill on that Pro. I've managed to get the power clam in, but again, not really a push. 10 point, 20 point pushes on Piranha Pit aren't going to cut it. You just give your enemy a free power clam, and then they can save all those little clams. 2 down on the side of Couch versus the 1 down on the side of Silver Armor, and they are rushing into this basket. 3 down now, and the sniper is way down in the useless area of the map. This is going to be a huge push.
Yeah, as you said, they had quite the collection of smaller plans ready to go when they opened that basket and pushed the lead down to 32. Unfortunately, they do go quite a delayed wipe, and so now Couch is able to push back out and retake the map control.
Yeah, those are the natures of pushes that we want to see on Piranha Pit. You want to see those big pushes. You want to see it get down to 40, down to 32. Even down to 50 is way better than getting it down to 80.
That looks
2
like
down on the side of Couch, 1 down on the side of Silver Armor, and Couch is going to push in. Unfortunately, not able to get much done, but still 54 better than their first 2 pushes. It is a foothold to establish off of.
They were able to throw a couple more clams in, but unfortunately not enough to take the lead, and it is very much a stalemate in mid, though the Bamboo is pushing forward and utilizing the flat map terrain and their medium-sized range to take out the members of Silver Armor. That's going to be another basket open for Silver Armor.
Yeah, penalty completely eradicated. The Bamboo's going to toss as many clams as they can, down to 14 points remaining with a 3 down situation. So Couch really needs to push up here and get the map control. They need to establish off of this. They're not pushing up fast enough when they're getting these 3 downs, and that makes it more difficult to push in. 2 down now on the side of Silver Armor, make that a complete wipe. Now they really need to move. They have the power clam, they have plenty of mini clams, and the Booyah is out, so that will force the Slosher to come down and fight the members of Couch. But 3 down on the side of Couch now, before they can get the lead too, which is very, very important.
Yeah, it was indeed a very nice Booyah, but unfortunately they weren't able to capitalize on that opening for too long, only able to get it down to 29 before they were wiped themselves, and unfortunately we were down to the last 10 seconds of the match, and Silver Armor is just making use and holding on to the clams.
And interesting thing we saw there, one member of Silver Armor tossing clams over the side. If you do that, they don't respawn as quickly as you would expect them to, and when there's only 10 seconds left and the enemy is trying to get a power clam, it can be very devastating and deadly.
It definitely ensures that you don't give them up to the enemy in this case that you do go down.
So impressive kill counts on both sides. 15 bomb and double 13 bomb for Silver Armor, and then 17 bomb and the 15 side of Couch. So very, very bloody. It was very much a back and forth, just teams kind of poking at each other until they managed to, Silver Armor managed to kind of break down the floodgates and come barreling in.
There were certainly some nice special plays out there. It really came down to the 1v1s that took place around the conveyor belts, with the Bamboo putting on a lot of pressure and getting quite a few picks on their own.
Yeah, but now we move to Rainmaker Humpback. So, another map, great for sloshers. We've seen a lot of great slosher maps this SOS. And it's a very hilly map too, so Charger, not the best backline here.
That is indeed, but I would say the Stingray is still pretty viable, so we might see a Swelter come out if they decide to hold on to the backline. But the way that Rainmaker and this map work, I would not be surprised if they went backline-less.
This is also a good Dynamo map. We could see if they go backline-less and they choose not to play Bamboo or Nautilus, they could go Dynamo. Or you can hammer in on the plats all the way up to the podium, and it can be very effective for clearing a path for the Rainmaker. Could we potentially see a Sploosh 7 or a tent? A camo tent, to be specific.
Honestly, either pick would be pretty powerful.
It would be. I don't know if we'll see a tent per se, because we didn't see a tent on Clamblitz, and I would say it would be very odd to not play tent on Clamblitz Piranha and then turn around and play tent and then Rainmaker for Hunter. But we could see the Sploosh 7, which would be interesting.
It is definitely an excellent pick for Maker. With the damage and the aggression it holds, is able to do a quick pop and push when it comes to pushing the Rainmaker.
Absolutely. So we do see a sloshing machine on the side of Couch. Pulp sticking with a Charger, but going with the vanilla one, so we will see the Stingray. They do have Bomb Rush, which is very helpful for not only popping the Rainmaker, but also getting lots of map control on this map. And it is a Suction Bomb Rush, so it won't be slipping down the slopes. And finally, we have the Missile Slosher, which you didn't see a lot when the game first came out, but now you see it more often than you would expect. 3 down on the side of Silver Armor as Couch grabs that Rainmaker, and they are starting to push. The last one jumps back. Only able to get the 34 vote. Most maps, that's a great push. This map, it's easy to get past 34, I would say. Especially once you get the momentum going and just sail straight past that ink rail.
Yeah, it is definitely not difficult to get past that, but I would say the Rainmaker did an impressive job of able to navigate that yellow ink on his own. We do see a bucket on both sides, as you pointed out, the missile bucket on the side of Silver Armor, but then we also have the Kensa sloshing machine on the Couch, which will come in pretty handy getting those picks. Very deadly over the, I would say, the window area for the backline.
Yeah, Stingray is on line versus sailing Rainmaker around the exit. 3 down on the side of Couch. That is not what they want to see. Charger only one left alive as he's going to get rushed. And down to 20 the Rainmaker goes. But Silver Armor has to sack. Oh, the push is still going. Could we see a knockout? Is Boobles going to get this knockout?
1v1 and they get it to 1. That was quite the impressive push.
1 point meme. Boobles just slipping in there between all the different members of Couch. And managing to get the Rainmaker. I don't think Couch is expecting that because they certainly acted very surprised.
I don't think I would have been able to expect that. But we do see some specials coming out in the congestion for the mid-turf control. 1 member goes down for Couch, but 2 more specials are online and they're still holding on to the Rainmaker.
Yeah, this is a very dangerous situation for Couch to be in. They have to get a knockout at this point to win this game and the set, and Jose ended up retreating, quote-unquote, twice, which lowered his Rainmaker time a lot. So even though it's a 2-down situation, he's not going to make it past the sharp bend in the exit area, but that could have easily ended a lot worse for him if he had blown up and his teammates were right next to him. Bomb Rush coming out to delay the Rainmaker now as Couch tries to muscle this thing forward.
Able to put on a lot of pressure, utilizing that Rainmaker's range to really get the picks they need, but it looks like they're going to be blocked by the Suction Bomb Rush, and they're still going to be holding on to that mid area for the time being. Yeah,
so we're kind of feeding in a little bit here, but it is working. They are managing to take enough members of Silver Armor down of Couchdown, to push them all the way back to the exit with only 23 points remaining, and there is greening all over this plat again. Couch's push has been stopped in its tracks. There's only one alive, and it is the sniper, so he's not going to be able to do a ton. He's going to get chased through mid by Boobles.
Yeah, Silver Armor making quick work of turning the mid yellow once again. Missiles are coming out, just getting a survey of where all the members are, and unfortunately they are pretty spread out at the moment. Could be easily picked off by one or two members of Silver Armor.
Yeah, Crimson pushing up, fighting the Slosh Machine. Unfortunately not able to find a pick on him. Slosh Machine goes down almost instantly. 3 down on the side of Silver Armor. Boople's only 1 up, make that a full life for Silver Armor. So Couch really wants to take advantage of this. They have to run it really fast. Members of Silver Armor all have respawned. You can see Yumura is trying to get that Inkling at least not green. If they can get a blue, which they do, it's even better. Silver Armor can no longer hide in there. 2 down on the side of Silver Armor as we pick into the last minute. Missiles are out. That's going to be deadly on this plat. 2 down now on each side of the map.
The Slosh are putting pressure on that charger. Looks like they're opting to hold the Maker as it is without popping it. We're getting to the last 30 seconds. So if they're able to stall it out long enough to keep them from getting that lead, it could be the game for Silver Armor. That being said, they nearly get the KO there with 1 point away from the lead. It looks like they're going to be able to get it. Still denied.
Nice, very close contention. Land. I think that's the third 1 point meme. Oh, and that is going to be it. Last one coming in. Managing to get a double ball with that splat bomb, so...
That was way down to the wire.
Certainly put up an excellent fight. I mean,
man.
3 times they got it to... Couch got it to 1 point, and it bumped back down to 2 points for them because of how this game handles ties. But an incredible ending. I don't know if we've seen a game that tight. Even the Rainmaker game earlier between Twilight Anglers and Mystical Link, this I think was even tighter. And then 22 kills for Boobles, definitely the NP of that match. So
I don't think I've ever seen a Rainmaker match that close before.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it every once in a while where you get it to 1 point, and then maybe once you tie it. Not 3 times in a row, and certainly not. It was a very, very messy feed fest at the end, and somehow Silver Armor just managed to come out on top of that.
Indeed. Moving on, we are going to Splat Zones on the Reef, a dual zone map. We have the iconic bridge in the middle overlapping both of the zones. Now, I can never remember, does rain affect the zones underneath the bridge, or does it get overshadowed by the bridge?
Okay, this is really bad because I use E-Later on this map and it has rain, but I don't know off the top of my head. I think it depends on the angle you throw it.
Because I know
even if it doesn't paint the zone underneath, though, it helps keep the bridge off the enemy's control. So it still benefits.
I do know that missiles are blocked by the bridge without being able to paint zone.
If the missiles are blocked, I would guess and say that the rain is probably blocked too. Booyah Bomb, if you hit the top of the bridge, you actually paint a tiny little bit underneath the bridge, but it's not enough to paint the zone. I would expect Pulp to run the Fire Fin since they ran that on Plan Blitz.
Yeah, I have to say, the Bomb Rush is definitely very viable on this map. Being able to get control of that bridge as you give a nice view of pretty much the entire map, and having that Bomb Rush puts a lot of pressure on pretty much the entire enemy side of the map.
So both teams running a splashdown weapon. Pulp is on the Firefin Charger as we mentioned. Triple last-ditch effort, by the way, for Silver Armor. But yes, double splashdown. 1 per each team. It is very fun to drop a splashdown off the side of the bridge and just completely obliterate everything in the zone beneath. Couch is going to get the cap very quickly here, although it's going to flip back into control of Silver Armor almost as soon as that happens. Sloshers on both teams, as well as both teams having an end zap. so Armor, and then Bomb Rush for each team. Double Bomb Rush, actually, on the side of Silver Armor. Although one of the Bomb Rushes does die there with the... making a complete wipe. That was very quick for Silver Armor going 4 down.
I was gonna say, it was pretty back and forth, only one on either side in that beginning bit, but it looks like Couch is able to come out on top with the wipe and able to really start to move in and lock out Silver Armor. That being said, we do see the splashdown coming out, and 3 down. That's a full wipe on the side of Couch, with the zones going in Silver Armor's favor.
Yeah, so like we were talking about, drop the splashdown off the side of the bridge, catch everyone underneath by surprise. At the very least, you force them back. At the very best, you kill people, and it's very fun.
Definitely puts a lot of ink out.
Yeah, sniper on the left. That's not a bad area for snipers to perch. It can be a bit difficult for weapons aside from Slaughterers and other backlines to reach. Slaughter does not manage to get Pulp. Pulp managed to kill them. Bomb Rush comes out, clears out the tree area, not really able to get into the zones though, which is unfortunate.
Was able to do quite a bit of painting with that Bomb Rush, and still 2 nice picks, and then just waiting for this jump here, though he doesn't seem to be able to catch it before he goes down himself. Yeah,
what happened with the jump there was it was the Tetras jumping in, so the Tetras dodge rolled to the left, and Pulp was not able to react in time. Silver Armor still in control of the zone, picking down to 40 remaining, a little bit less than that now. 2 specials on the line, a Horror Couch versus the 1 special online for Silver Armor.
And we do see one of the Bomb Rushes going down, though the Charger gets another nice push and bringing out their Bomb Rush. Looks like they're just going to be able to get the zone along with the Splashdown.
Yeah, Splashdown, the last member of Silver Armor splashdowning into the zone, manages to delay that cap on Couch's. And Crimson all alone out there between all the members of he's gonna go down. The jump is dead. Very dead, even though it was a Tetras. Oh, but then Jose swims straight into that suction bomb from the end zap. 2 down on the side of...
And there is still quite a bit of yellow ink despite most of the members of Silver Armor going down, so it looks like they're not going to have much trouble pushing back in and retaking the zones.
Good snipe there from Pulp to get the end up. That definitely helps Silver Armor not to have the ink bomb, which is pushing to be careful of the other hand, so which will effectively negate.
I was definitely going back and forth with 2 members of Couch going down. Looks like Silver Armor is just able to hold on to their control zone, but trying to take out the Charger, but unfortunately the Tetras themselves go down.
Yeah, Yumura managed to come around and help his Charger friend, and the Charger help them out. Tetras jumping back in, unfortunately going down again. That one coming for a little flank there, trying to pincer Silver Armor in the zone. They do manage to get the cap, which is important. Going down. Unfortunately, 2 down on the side of and Silver Armor does have.
Yeah, I have to say, Silver Armor's definitely did an excellent job of retaking the zone, even after the cap. But it looks like several members of each team going down. It's just pretty much a stalemate in mid, with Silver Armor maintaining the control of the zone.
Yeah, the hard thing with these 2 comps is their pushing specials are Bomb Rush, and so they need to chain them to really have a good shot of pushing in when you fire enemies. They're really depending on brute force pushes, killing people and coming in numbers advantage. And right now that has just favored Silver Armor so much more than 2 down on the side of, again, courtesy of the that.
Well, the Charger has certainly been making some excellent picks throughout this match. I think having the extra mobility with the backline of this comp has really come in the favor of Silver Armor, as they've been able to really keep control of just most of the map, putting out a lot of paint and just getting the picks they need to maintain zone control.
Yeah, 2 down on the side of Couch. Couch make that 3 down on the side of Silver Armor though, so there is a chance. Oh, they're going to push up and get that Tetra and get that cap. So we do go into overtime. Does not have a big penalty, but they do have a very large amount of points. So they're going to stay up, try and charge that Bomb Rush. Inkling is out. They're going to have to rush that Slaughter. Its first Bomb Rush comes out. 2 down on each side of the team as this clock is ticking away. Tetris launching into zone. Bombers ready for Boobles. He's going to come in for a flank behind, and then Splashdown and Boobles together cap that zone for a 3-0 victory for Silver.
Well, it is a 3-0 victory. Couch did put up an excellent fight right at the end there, almost able to take it back into overtime.
Yeah, Couch was definitely fun.
Both of these teams are very evenly matched, and once again, Boobles with the 20 bomb, very impressive. I'd say definitely very good showings on both teams.
Yep. So that is the end of the group stage. We got a couple quick talking points for all you fine and lovely people in the chat before we go to a break while the awesome POs sort out the bracket. We have staff applications open here at Inkling Performance Labs. We're looking for additions to our production and commentary teams, as well as tournament staff. If you're interested in helping out in these areas, please fill out the form that Kraken just put in the chat. And if you're interested in more in one area, you can fill out the form multiple times. Low Ink July 2021 is this weekend. Join the largest low-level Splatoon tournament. Low Ink fans looted Div 4 and above to keep the playing fields fair. Our 2-day format makes sure all teams get plenty of playtime. Registration ends Friday night, so don't hesitate to register. You can do that in the Discord. And also, as a bonus, this is the first Low Ink where the bracket stage features counter picks. So that will definitely make things interesting. And then, as always, please feel free to donate for a future IPL tournament's prize pool. We do appreciate all the donations. You guys help us be able to provide the winning team something more than a little bit of Twitter clout. I think other than that is everything. So we'll have a short break and come back when the Great White Bracket has been all settled. Hello everyone! Welcome to the bracket stage of SOS 36. I'm Chad, joined by Ahmed, and we are going to kick things off with Paradox versus Healthy Diet Food Groups. Do you recognize any of these names? I'm
gonna say that's a no. These are all new names and faces for me.
Okay. Well, Healthy Diet Food Groups, Azure, who is one of the TOs for SOS, we used to be on this team. They've got Flopper, which is Great Charger player. Krim used to be on Vitamin C. And meanwhile, on the side of Paradox, Henry is a name I've recognized just from hanging out with Ascension back when they used to be known as Static Intelligence. Used to play end parries a lot when that was meta, if anyone can remember when that was the time. Believe that Henry's on Carnage Gaming now, which used to be called Temptation. So very, very strong pickup versus
Indeed.
a very strong established team. With this is bracket, we are moving on to knockout. So instead of a play all 5, this is a best of 5.
It looks like for our first set, we have Tower Control on Sturgeon Shipyard. It's going to be an interesting map.
Yeah, this is not one of my favorite maps. Whopper, it's a toss-up. He could go Bamboo. I've seen him run Bamboo on Tower Control every once in a while. He could go Vanilla Charger. I would expect Grim to run either a Slosher weapon or some variant of the Splatter Shot, either a K-Shot or an Octa Shot. Not sure about Inari or Denora. Henry, I would be very surprised not to see Inkjet from him. I don't really know anybody else that's on Paradox off the top of my head, so can't really say what they're going to be running.
I think both Inkjets and Sloshers will be pretty helpful on this map. In order to get through the first couple of checkpoints, it does have a bit of a dip, and it'd be very difficult to get past the defending team.
Okay, so Whopper going with the Bamboo, Grim with the Keta shots, so double missiles, Inari with the Rapid. I want to say that is mine and Splash Bomb Rush.
That is
and seeing that Rapid reminds me where I've seen Inari before. Inari used to be on Calamity. 1 down on each side, make that 2 down for Paradox versus 3 down for Paradox versus 1 down for that Cooper. So excellent first flash there in the favor of.
Yeah, the Blaster not quite able to finish off the Nautilus there. He's able to push back and hold on to a special, but it looks like Healthy Diet Food Groups is able to get to the first checkpoint.
Yeah, and like you mentioned earlier, we have an Inkjet in the hands of Henry running that Nautilus 79. There is also a Slosh outside of Paradox, hence the Slosh team. Henry not able to find anyone with that Inkjet. 1 down on each side of the field. Well, Henry's getting kind of sandwiched by everyone. Does manage to take down the NZAT foe, which is a very good pick. They won't have armor for their next push.
Yeah, when we get the enemy trying to push up onto the raised bridge, it can be difficult to defend against it, but Henry here doing a nice job of holding his own, and so far they're able to take down the Rapid, but going 2 down themselves, not able to do much with their push themselves.
Yeah, Henry managed to take down the Bamboo and then tried to make something happen with that Inkjet, not able to find anyone before Denora with the NZAP managed to find them. The Sloshing coming in, Denora watching that armor to help him push up on that more aggressive and faster killing weapon. He's not able to find the pick by himself. One of his teammates is going to have to come in and help missiles out, forcing Denora to back off 2 down on the side of Paradox, make that a 1 down on each side of the field. Neither team has broken through the first checkpoint yet, so this is still a very free game for either team.
Yeah, until they're able to really shut down that snipe area in the lower or the upper areas, it's going to be difficult to get past that first checkpoint. The Nautilus once again doing an excellent job of just defending that higher area. Looks like 1 down for each team, and it's pretty much just a stalemate at this point.
Yeah, but a member of Healthy Diet Food Groups that was down respawns first, so there is a good chance that they will make it through the checkpoint here. And are going down to Henry's Inkjet as Luke comes in with the K-Shot through mid. So even though they had the numbers advantage for a little bit there, Healthy Diet Food Group not able to break through that first checkpoint. They are, however, in the lead. It's not a big lead, but it is a lead, and that's all that matters at the end of the game.
Yeah, because it's right on the checkpoint, it could be pretty difficult trying to get past that. But yeah, once again, we're having a 1v1 with one members on each team going down. Lots of missiles coming out, but now we see 2 down for each team, and the inkjet getting popped once again.
Yeah, members are going to respawn very quickly. Krim going down to that inkjet before he goes down to a rapid. One down on each side of the team. We saw members jumping in from both sides, so that will keep the action going. As Inari is going to come up and try and make sure that that spinner stays clear of enemies. That's very key for making sure that the spawn remains clear. Unfortunately, not able to stay up there. Here, the members of Paradox are really pushing forward. They managed to take the lead here and finally clear the first checkpoint after almost 4 minutes of action.
But Slosh doing an excellent job.
Yeah, Slosh is doing a great job there. 57 though, easy lead to overcome here. And just unfortunately there, Inari falling to that fizzy bomb. He got into that corner in the lower area, couldn't escape. Good pick there, though, from the Slosh team on to the Bamboo. Bamboo is a lot deadlier than you would expect in this comp.
It's got honestly pretty decent range with the amount of spacing we have for this map, and with the missiles, comboed with the missiles, it could put on quite a bit of pressure.
Oh, but the armor there sent Whopper sailing off into the abyss. One of the fun little quirks of knockback armor. Nari on the tower, jumps to him from his teammates. Whopper going down. Grim just barely escaping that splat bomb, and Nari barely escaping that splat bomb. They're going to get the lead here. 3 down on the side of Healthy Diet Food Group, make that a delayed wipe. Meanwhile, Paradox has 4 up. They're going to try and get as many people into mid as soon as possible. It's still a very free game, even though as we come into overtime here.
Yeah, it's very close as far as points go, but there's still quite a bit of purple on the map, and the tower is so far is pushing up on their own and just completely surrounded by... Oh, well, I say that they've taken the lead and not able to take out the tower.
If the lead had not been so close between them, I think that would have been it for Paradox, because if not everyone probably saw it, but there was one person that came through mid, I believe it was Genora, to flank behind the towers. So if it hadn't been for the fact that the lead was right there, Healthy Diet would have executed an excellent pincer maneuver and punched them. And they just needed a little bit more time to get that together.
Yeah, that first match will be going on to Paradox. Next up, we have Clam Blitz on Starfish main stage. Yeah,
interesting map mode combination. Not sure people's feelings on this. Personally, it's not my favorite Clam Blitz stage.
I would say it's one of my more favorable Clams match, but it is, like you said, it's definitely not the best. The basket is in a very low area within the enemy base and can be very difficult to push into without a good coordination of specials and picks.
Yeah, at the same time though, it's also easy to get the street kind of overrun and you get locked in your base. And if you're just mindlessly feeding into that lower area to try and stop a push, if a member of the enemy team is on or snipe, then it is easy to get picked off. Flossers are going to be great here. Inkjets are going to be great here. Booyah, missiles, anything to get into the spawn area and stop people from flooding in. I would expect armor to stay. Might see some bubbles. Not the worst special here. Not the best special, but not the worst one either. Can be useful for deflecting some hits and creating some extra cover for your team in that very open area by the basket.
It can certainly, at the very least, it can create an opening to get in there.
Alright, teams loading in. We do see Grim going with the Luca Decos, which have a wall and a baller. Baller, kind of hit and miss special. It's easy to shred. People recharge shots from a charger will shred it. If you got 3 people shooting at it, it'll shred fast. But the wall is very good here. Again, make that cover in that pit area. And Glugas have a very fast kill time, especially out of the rolls. We see there 2 shots, 1 is down.
Yeah, they got the quick kill, but also a pretty decent amount of range as well. And with the accuracy of the roll, it can be quite a difficult opponent along with the splash wall.
Yeah, Paradox is going backlineless again, using the Knot as their pseudo-anchor of sorts, not being run by Enry. They also have the Booyah Bomb, which we talked about earlier. Inkjet is out. Krim is going to come in with that baller, bombing in off the snipe. They are going to get the ball carrier, not before they can toss it in. And then sandwiching the last member of Paradox in with the wall to get a nice situation for their team there. Mid is getting very, very green as all members of Paradox have respawned and are coming back in.
Yeah, that was an excellent triple by the Glugos, just cleaning up the rest of the team and holding on to that street area to keep them from getting any more clams in. Looks like they're going to be popping the Inkjet to try to put some pressure on their snipe. Bamboo getting a nice pick with the wall, able to put pressure on the enemy street this time. And looks like they're going to try some sort of opening.
That was a very good play there, teamwork-wise with Blopper and with Krim. Krim putting the wall there for Blopper to really be able to pressure the enemy street. We saw a good use of Splat Bomb rush there by Anar. Unfortunately, he's getting pincered by, it looks like 2 members, Enry, and I want to say the Knot. Henry's going to have to run away from that baller, not able to follow him across the gap.
And unfortunately, Healthy Diet not able to save the Super Clam, so they are back to square one once again, but they still have quite a bit of map control within the stage area.
Yeah, so earlier we talked about maps where pushes of 80 aren't as bad as they are on other maps. This is one of them. It's very difficult to push in. There are games where 80 one power clam in the basket is the only push we see. About half the game remaining here. Paradox up 80 points to 100 points.
I'd say with the exception of Splatstones, because they all when you have to get too close or too far into the enemy base, it definitely, as you said, becomes very difficult to push in. We see a nice burst bomb splat or trade, I would seem, and several specials are coming online. Unfortunately, the Glugos do go down, and it looks like Paradox is going to be taking control of mid and really putting on the pressure.
Yeah, Enry not able to win that fight with the Bamboo, while Whopper popping those Phantom Missiles instantly to try and help his team get back in the mid. He's going to go for a short little flank. Not doing too much. I mean, he's getting chased by one of the shooters, well, looks like maybe the splash based off of how fast it's firing.
There's certainly quite a few clams on the side of Paradox. If they're able to get this opening, they're going to be able to put a sizable dent in their...
Yeah, full life on the side of Healthy Diet Food Groups as Paradox comes rushing in. You can see the teammates are tossing clams in. Enry coming up on the left side with that Inkjet to harass members of Healthy Diet Food Group as they come out of spawn. One down on the side of Paradox as Diet Food Groups keeps coming in. Booyah is coming out. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to get anyone. Not able to get any clams in as well. Probably got shredded by the combination of the 3 people shooting at them. But a push to 22, that is lethal on this map.
Absolutely, and honestly that was an excellent play by Healthy Diet Food. Just able to pop that booyah because it seemed like that player had enough clams in order to get the knockout, so just stalling him out enough to let the basket close gives him at least a fighting chance in this match.
Yeah, that's one thing that you don't see a lot of teams do, shredding the booyah, especially down at the mid-level and lower level. That's something that people need to do. Another power clam already for Paradox. This 3 go down on the side of Healthy Diet Food Groups. Penalty is almost eradicated as members start trying to feed back in Healthy Gone. Less than 10 points remaining as 2 go down, 1 clam left, and in it goes. Paradox takes this to a 2-0. So now it's do or die for Healthy Diet Food Groups. They are in reverse sweep territory.
It was certainly a tough matchup trying to get into the base, but once they were able to get in, they did an excellent job of just holding on to the basket area and just continue to pour clams in to get that knockout.
If there is one map that can flip momentum, though, it's Rainmaker Black Belly.
Absolutely.
The only thing that's safe here is a knockout.
Indeed. I have to say though, as far as Rainmaker maps go, Black Belly Though Black Belly on any other mode, not one of my favorites. I would say on Rainmaker, just because of the changes they made to the terrain, it is quite a fun map.
See, I'm the odd person that likes the old Black Belly Rainmaker.
See, I unfortunately have not played on it enough to remember it much, so...
I mean, the new one is definitely a lot better balanced competitively. I just found the other one more fun.
Oh, for sure.
Stingray, really great here. I would not be surprised if we see raids from both these teams in the form of Sea Jets. Given the fact that Blopper didn't go a regular charger on power control, while I know that he can play the regular charger, I would expect if he was going to go backline here, instead of a quasi backline, like a Bamboo, to go Sea Jet. I'm not sure if Inari will stick with the Rapid.
Yeah, that would be an interesting pick, although Rapid might do pretty well. It's got a decent amount of range, but it is quite a bit open.
And
Honestly,
also the other two with Rapid. Oh, sorry.
It's all good. I say Inkjet, once again, probably a good bet.
Yeah, Inkjet, Booyah, missiles, sloshers are good here. Now, usually what makes Rapids pretty good, in my opinion, also makes sloshers pretty good. It's a lot of changes in elevation, being able to hit people on ledges higher. I don't know if that really applies here to the Rapid, because the changes in elevation aren't as high per se. In a lot of areas, it's a lot more gradual, if that makes sense. So I feel like it's easy to shoot over people's heads, and instead of like directing them, you shoot behind them.
It's definitely a little bit more subtle than other maps.
Nice. Sticking with the Rabbit, running with the Kensa version this time, which I think is nice. You do have the Baller to help push in, which again can be iffy, but in a pinch does protect the Rainmaker. And the Torpedoes definitely, I think, better special for Rainmaker than the Mines. With the comp that Healthy Diet Food Groups is running, though, I would not expect them to get the pop most of the time when there is fighting for the pop. Rapid just doesn't pop it fast at all. Look at a very nice tank here.
And it doesn't seem like there's too many bomb options on their team as well. We got the double suction with the K-Shot and the Nautilus, so it definitely goes for a much faster pop.
Yeah, meanwhile on the side of Healthy Diet Food Groups, Torpedo doesn't pop the fastest. You have the Burst Bomb Rush with the Burst Bomb, which again doesn't pop the fastest. Curling doesn't pop the fastest. Oh, very quick knockout on the side of Paradox.
While we're over here just yakking, they say, you know what, let's go ahead and take this knockout.
So that will knock Healthy Diet Food Groups out of at least the winner's side of the bracket. I believe it's double elimination, so they'll have a chance to make a fighting chance for losers. Oh, it's a single elimination still. So yeah, Healthy Diet Food Groups out of the tournament. They fought hard though, and definitely look forward to seeing them again in future editions of SOS. But congrats to Paradox, 3-0 victory. That's gotta feel nice, and they will take that into the next round. We are going to take a very short break to swap commentators. But before we go, Imad, where can the very good people in the chat find you?
Well, first off, you can find me on Twitter at ImadGamerII, and you can also find me on Twitch at the same tag, ImadGamerII. I usually stream quite a bit. Where can they find you, Shads?
You can find me Twitter, ShadowDragon42, Twitch, I am IV_Shads with an extra underscore on the end. You've probably seen me in the Twitch chat already with this evening. And I stream too, so yeah, come and watch. But for now,
check her out.
Definitely stick in your seats. We'll be right back, and you do not want to miss the next match in SOS.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Superfern here, speaking from Chicago, and I'm here joined with Scat on this amazing day of swim or sink or sink. And so as 36, and it is a pleasure to be commentating once again. And I would like to welcome Scat for the fifth time commentating. How are you today, Scat?
I'm doing great, Fern. I hope you're doing well and everybody in the chat is doing well. It's a beautiful day here, and I'm looking forward to a fantastic set with Azure versus Mictlan Heroes.
Great, and we're gonna be jumping in. This is gonna be I always get confused with the sharks because it's always something that it's like trying to remember all the fish references. We're gonna go for the great white shark on a best of 5. It's the semifinals and then the finals right here, and both of these teams were always hard to get on these brackets, eliminating everyone that came to previous to them. And as a clan blitz on Humpback Pump Check, what do you think are we gonna see most, and what do you wish to see the most?
Absolutely. Clan Blitz on Humpback is an incredibly aggressive map for Clan Blitz. You have all that firepower concentrated in mid there, and both teams have pretty clear access to each other's basket. The only thing preventing the team from accessing your basket is physical paint, so I'm looking forward to seeing both teams out-painting each other and being extremely aggressive here.
I believe that we're gonna see just that, but I always wish to see a map mode comp team that doesn't rely on the double armor, and because as you mentioned, your favorite weapon is the
Blobber.
Oh, so you don't need the armor if you have the paint.
No, you don't. Yeah, the paint here is definitely going to be the key here. You want to be able to outpaint your opponents and deny them access that way, because there are no physical barriers that are really going to help you shut them out.
Perfect.
And it looks like Mictlan Heroes is bringing in the armor, and so is Azure. Actually, I take that back. No, they are. They do have Kunder. My apologies. So both teams are running armor, except Mictlan Hero is using the NZAP, which is more of a traditional armor approach instead of the Kunder there. And 2 already go down on the side of Azure, so that armor isn't really going to be helping them that much. The goal here for them is going to be able to maintain control of mid while their teammates respawn.
Noob right here, trying to get a bubble combo, starting to get a push, but unfortunately for Azure, the control of the turf is going to go for Mictlan Heroes. They are all confined on their side of the basket, trying to get something to push on. The Blaster pushes aggressively, trying to avoid the Booyah Bomb. No team here has enough. After goes down, Cass goes down to Noob, and they're now in control of the area underneath on their drop, trying to get the clams. They do have enough to make a power. They are waiting for the enemy to respawn in order to push in even more and more, but so far they are not getting enough clams. Special coming in from the splash, bomb rush, trying to get control of their drop underneath the basket. The bucket does go down, splash down coming in, gets a collateral from the bomb rush, but the splash down gets cancelled in the meantime, but still took this time for them to score.
Azure did a fantastic job maintaining control of mid there and pushing right up to the opponent's basket. Unfortunately, they're only going to be able to score 2 clams before the basket closes, and they are going to grant Mictlan Heroes a pity. That's not necessarily the best thing that you want on this map. Those pities really can do everything because they can just rush right up to your basket. Your defense is pretty important here. 3 are down on the side of Mictlan Heroes, so they are all coming down on spawn. That 4 Tri-Slasher has their work cut for them as Azure scores again. This time, they do have 3 members up, though, and 10 clams, and it looks like they're going to be able to score some significant points here.
I'm just sensing that Mictlan, so Azure itself is doing small pushes in terms of like 1 power and a little bit of clams, 1 power and a little bit of clams, and Mictlan is not being able to capitalize after stopping their their push, and it makes it a little bit hard for them to score. With 2 minutes already in the match, the control of turf is now going back to Mictlan. They have to do a more coordinated push in order to start. We're gonna see Pika going for the flank, gets 1, the Booyah Bomb tries to help, cancels the bomb rush in the meantime, trying to get the pick with the 52, but the RNG doesn't help. They do score. Here comes a second power, but it's only with 54 and 51, not gonna enough to take lead. This is gonna be at 20 points penalty that Mictlan will have to compensate, but Azure only has the 19 of a lead, penalty.
That was a fantastic and massive push on the side of Azure. Unfortunately, they are going to be neck and neck. However, there are 2 minutes left in this match, and it really is anybody's game at this point. It does look like Azure is preparing for a second push with that super jump power clam straight in the basket, and they are scoring a significant amount of clams here, but now they are out. That blaster is the only one up, and it really is the best option to fall back here. 24 is not 24 remaining is a pretty solid lead, but there's 2 minutes left in this match. Mictlan Heroes now has a second pity, and they are going to be able to do some work with that.
We're gonna see a pick on the left side. Mictlan here is trying to capitalize from that. They do have a lot of clams coming in on their side. That torpedo counter is showing what used to be as an annoying weapon before it was decided at the end up in the Tri-Slosher. The score is gonna go for Mictlan Heroes. They are getting closer to the 24 marks with 2 people trying to defend the best. They get the lead. The Blaster trying to get the pick, but knowing that it's not the proper time to drop, so he's just trying their best, pushing the enemy with their bombs. Remember, you do not, as a front line, even though you have a short range, you do not need to drop because you're basically just getting splatted anyway.
That is a very dangerous drop to take for anyone, especially if there are opponents right up to your basket. You are asking to get picks there. The proper choice there would be to apply sub pressure, which Azure did a fantastic job. However, they do pick up that power claim and go down in mid. There is 60 seconds left in the match. 2 are down on both sides. Make that 3. And now Azure is going to have their work cut out for them if they are going to try and take lead here.
I'm pretty sure Noble was like, I got a wipe, please team, push in, we need to score, push in! But now with everyone respawn from Mictlan Heroes, it is gonna at least need another special, and the Blaster going down is gonna be also a little bit of time. Booyah coming in, the Shredder on the Squeezer didn't do that much. Bubbles are already on the Squeezer, but the missiles are being a little bit hard to avoid, and so you don't get picked as well by the suction bomb. The score does go in, it is doable, they get the lead, and they win the game.
Absolutely. What a solid push there from Azure, using those bubbles to shield themselves and their teammate to work right up to Mictlan Heroes' basket. Solid push there.
I think almost all the pushes from Azure included the bubbles, meaning that the Squeezer itself, you don't need to do the bubble combo all the time. Yeah, 5 times we could at least Nubu was the one that chooses to use the bubbles, but it was mostly how they always decided to push, and the Booyah Bomb was coordinated as well from Mictlan Heroes in order to stop bomb rushes. It was everything in general. This match was a pretty good one to watch, and just so different strategies, or in the case of Azure, at least one special that can always thrive in terms of scoring. And we're going for Rainmaker on Snapper. What's going to be different from a Clan Blitz on Humpback, Skeppy?
Absolutely. So there's a significant difference here. Number one is that you don't benefit from paint with the Rainmaker pop here. You really have to work with your own paint in order to make a significant push. Snapper is very unique in that you have so many ways to push. You can push straight through the mid towards the goal, which is the fastest way to score points. You can move left through plat and go around. And even then, once you get close to the enemy's goal, there are multiple ways to aggress up and towards their goal. You can go around to the back for a little sneaky sneak, which definitely leaves your team having to work harder because it's such a difficult area to access. You can also push through sneaky, which is another area that's difficult for your teammates to follow up. Both of these ways are really only advantageous if the opposing team is wiped. However, Snapper is a very dynamic Rainmaker map, and I always look forward to seeing it.
I will have to say that the definition of sneaky does not apply when the Rainmaker is pushing over there, which is not recommended when pushing in. But it's always funny to see when someone tries in a tournament, because if they do, it just means that someone really screwed over in order for that push to succeed, or in order for a team to decide that. And one more thing that I actually want to point out is I want to see if they do the tech that was running out on Twitter, which you swim with the Rainmaker by the side of the podium instead of straight forward. That does make the docking a little bit faster, according to the data.
Interesting. I wasn't aware of that. I'll have to check out Twitter.
Oh, that was 2 days ago, so it was pretty recent. I can ping it later for you to watch it as well.
Cool. Yeah, the Tri-Slosher is switching out for the Novo for V-Tri, so Mictlan Heroes is running Devil Armor. And also we are going to see a Blob. I definitely love Blob on Rainmaker Snapper. It's very wonderful. Unfortunately, that Blob does go down. They were not watching very carefully.
Poor pick, but here with Mictlan Heroes, I do have sense that the Nautilus from Azure was a little bit aggressive and got no paint at all in order to survive, which in short resulted into Azure losing the opportunity to make the first push. The Gal here is with bloody eyes looking to get the pick, but it does right call once they saw the blaster was going for that. And remember, this is the splashdown blaster, no inkjet, which is a very different pick from what we see most of the time. Blaster going straight for the Rainmaker, trying to get the pick. The rain blocks a little bit of a view, but anyway, it is going to be the end of the push for Mictlan Heroes and Azure's time to shine.
Azure is going to go for that pop here. They do have a pretty clear path here if they paint it up, which it looks like they're doing. That K-Dow is doing a good job of providing paint there. And also the the Nautilus is up there ready to pop with their inkjet. They have 82, so they really don't have that much more paint until they have it. They're going to have some pretty significant special utility. Mictlan Heroes does have their armor. They do pop that armor, and the K-Gal is ready to go with that Booyah Bomb and a good solid defense. There are bubbles all the way up on their street there. They really have some work here cut out for them. Oh, and then Azure is wiped. Oh, wow. Azure is wiped.
The distraction.
Mictlan Heroes, my bad.
That distraction. Yeah, I was like, yeah, this was an attempt. Like, I was gonna say, like, this is an opportunity for a push and almost KO. But then, like, because the Nautilus was busy with the flank on the Sneaky. And then I was like, this is an opportunity. They're gonna make it. But in the end, they just got wiped and the push dies at 54.
It was so quick, I almost didn't even notice it.
We think right now, Rainmaker back in mid, and oh, that was a nice movement from the Gal getting the blaster. Although I was actually cheering for the blaster over there because blaster winning that matchup is way more fun. Squeeze it right here, trying to protect his fringe jump, but unfortunately the bubbles are not gonna be helpful enough. The blaster will go down once again, and then there's a triple for the blaster. Clip that, my man. We need that on Twitter later for future references.
Yeah, that K-Gal's putting in work dancing around that splash wall. They also have their Booyah. It looks like they're going to be able to put up a good defense. Not only that, but use that that Booyah bomb in order to aggress further towards that goal.
With Pika right now trying to get a better position with the Rainmaker. With Pika picking up the Rainmaker, it is a little bit hard for them to push because they don't have enough turf in order to do so. The Rainmaker is one of the front line, right? They're trying to get just a lot of points, preserve the lead on the street. It was a good, I would say it was a good attempt on push because now I almost thought the Gal was gonna die to that. It was almost a close call for getting at least 30 points. But yeah, good attempt on push, and the bubbles do get the pick.
Going to pick that the Rainmaker and push even further towards the goal. It was a solid push there. 28 is a pretty decent lead. You really are going to have to put up a really good defense in order to hold that lead. They pick up the Rainmaker again, or dancing towards that goal. My oh my, look at him go. Getting that down to a remaining of 3.
Oh, that special was a little bit too early, but it gets together in the end, and it's a KO.
Nice. Way to go, Azure. That was a solid KO there. They really kept up the pressure there, and we're just not refusing to give up that push.
Agree. I think what I understood, maybe from Pika's perspective, was that Pika decided to just like yeet the Rainmaker, so because Azure didn't have any specials and like they were a lot of Squid down, and going back to just like yeeting the Rainmaker would like be better on the long term because like Pika would respawn, get a little bit of control of turf. And then like it would support for the next push, so they were not picking up the push in the first push, but like the second and third one that led forward. Great job.
I really wonder how beneficial that double armor comp is in Rainmaker.
It does give you the opportunity for at least knowing that your Slayers don't need to force the pickup on the Rainmaker. Like it is good to have friends to go your back. Like if you're playing, for example, Steam games. I always have like playing Steam games with my friends. But now, are these friends on double armor? Are the double armor going to be effective on Zone's Mako? That's a good question.
Yeah, absolutely. Zone's Mako is a very aggressive map. I'm looking forward to seeing very frontline weapons and possibly even a sniper. Snipers are definitely very good here on Mako Mart just because of how flat it is.
Elite or Firefang?
Oh, for me personally, I prefer E-leaders.
I kind of agree. E-leader does have more shine because of the more range. You don't need to move as much when you're playing defense and offense. You have more safety, and because this map has a little bit of widerness and like 2 big stacks, it does make a difference for me, the E-leader being a little bit superior to the Firefang.
And the V-Tri does switch out for the Trinovo, switching out that armor for that Inkstorm, and it looks like Azure is choosing to stick with the Kunder as their source of armor. That armor does go for a quick pop, and it looks like they are beginning their first push, trying to capitalize on that armor while they can. Ooh, and look, that Kunder does a fantastic job of pairing up with their teammate there, helping that Blaster get a double. And that is a solid job capping Zone here. They are alone against that Tri-Slasher. That is a very difficult 1v1 for them to take. But it looks like that Tri-Slasher is going to jump out because they were able to regroup with their teammates there.
I am just perplexed that Azure managed to get that specific pick that was so important. It took 2 people down from Mictlan heroes. That blaster I think the blaster cheated, and like, not saying it's assault 2, I just say that was a cheated death. No, I want to go back. The blaster was not supposed to live, but it got 2 people, which was amazing. And Mictlan heroes applying the penalty, getting the bubble from the squeezer to not work on the 3rd time, getting the control of lead, and now it's more time to Azure in order to get the win of the game.
Gonna have a time there against that K-Out, and they do go down. Definitely not a smart 1v1 to take, just because that K-Out is so incredibly fast at killing. Mictlan Heroes has an opportunity here. The most important thing on Splat Zone's Back Mart is that you want to be able to paint up and lock out your opponents with paint, just because all those drops that they have to work through, they really need paint underneath those drops in order to do anything to break out of their spawn.
I mean, that's what I think Mictlan Heroes do in general. Their comp has less range, but so more pain, so making it harder and harder for Azure to push in. They do get the lead, and you can see it right now. The Gal and the wall and the pain pressure getting on the squeezer was critical. And right here, we can see the splash also going down to the 52, and it's a wipe for Mictlan. The difficulty for climbing the stairs is a little bit hard for someone that just got a quad, or a triple. Maybe I miscounted. And the first match that's going to Mictlan Heroes is the 3rd one. This is not necessarily the end of the game. Mictlan will make sure this will go all the way to game 5.
Mictlan Heroes is not giving up here. They are saying, oh, maybe you guys got lucky with those map mode combinations in the first 2 matches, but this is our map mode, and we are here to show you what it looks like to play some zones.
Completely agree. Right now, I actually wondered. I'm looking at the names of Azure. And the LCD TV, I actually wanted to get one of those into my monitor in the future. I'll keep that in mind next time I go to the Target.
You gotta wonder if they're sponsored.
Oh yeah, no, they're not sponsored.
That was a joke.
Imagine getting sponsored, like for example McDonald's or Wendy's in general, or even Baskin Robbins, or even like Apple sponsors Splatoon competitive. Like, if this day ever comes, I will eat my iPhone, and I figured out a way to eat it so it doesn't harm me, but I will not tell the secrets. Some things I will die with.
I will be changing my IGN to Big Mac.
Or to Apple Fanboy, or Fangirl, or Squid. Up to you to decide.
Yeah, and we are looking forward to TC Piranha Pit. This is an incredibly defensive map. Definitely, I don't think we're going to see any chargers, unfortunately, though. That range really does make it so difficult to clear that 2nd checkpoint. And that blaster is definitely going to have their work cut out for them on TC.
I don't think they're gonna see. We didn't see any backliners so far, and TC is not gonna make much of a difference. I was expecting at least to see, if we didn't see any backliner on Rainmaker, we're not gonna see it now. I was expecting at least a Ray spamming Jet Scorcher, but I don't think these teams need it anyway. They can do it without it, although they still need the armor. Call me out. Yeah, you can call me out, but the armor is the matter. What can I do?
Absolutely, and they are switching out that Tri-Nouveau for it looks like a regular Slosher over here. That might be the Hero Slosher, my apologies. They still have 1 armor over there and 1 armor on the side of Azure. That Blaster is coming back though, and man, TC Blasters, gotta love those.
No, it's adorable. And also I want to say, noob on the vanilla dually squelchers. I don't remember seeing many of those in the tournament today, but also when was the last time I ever saw TC on a tournament on Piranha Pit? Most of it was the zones and Clan Blades, and with the very nice pick teamwork right here, Azure is going to continue to push the vanilla slosher, or the hero slosher if you want to be correctly. It's trying to stop the tower. The Brella, the undercover, is doing their best to just stay alive, but unfortunately for the Gao, it's gonna say no, and it is now not our time to push in. Mictlan Heroes throwing the Booyah Bomb, trying to preserve their teammate, which unfortunately will go down. The Booyah Bomb doesn't get the pick. Nice wall placement, trying to get the position with the 52. It's gonna be still the push from Mictlan Heroes, but the Blaster is not showing up with the misses, and it's gonna be a no.
And Azure does pop armor. They are preparing for a defense, but unfortunately their blaster does go down, so they're not really going to benefit from that armor. We are in a 2v2 situation as that undercover is working their way towards the tower and trying to get a significant hit control here. Azure does take the tower. They are currently holding lead right now, so this is about a defensive push. Definitely going to want to work to increase that lead. It is not that large. They are working that and clearing the first checkpoint. There does not seem to be much of a threat near tower from Mictlan Heroes.
We're seeing right here an Inkjet battle. Come on, come on. One of you has to at least splat the other. Please, please. But they only splat the one underneath them. The splash pretty much has control. The person has dropped, trying to get the pick. The Nautilus is in danger, but at least managed to outrange enough so it doesn't survive. The Nautilus didn't give up. It didn't cowardly away. It still managed to keep alive, and now it will be Mictlan here's time to shine.
Both teams are fighting for control here on this side of tower. There's a 3v3 situation. Looks like that Slosher is trying to put in some work at a pressure Azure. However, they do go down. Mictlan Heroes is wiped. Azure is really going to be pushing this tower again.
Splash and position themselves underneath. Gets another
damn!
That's a goddamn blaster we're gonna see. But here comes the Inkjet trying to save the day. Control of the second checkpoint will definitely go to Azure. Now they're trying to get to pick on the guy that was trying to get the diversion from the other side of the map. The splashdown comes in. No splashdown caster today, but still it's even more and more close to the splash to the final checkpoint. 4v4 happening right near around tower. Mictlan Heroes armor does go down. Pika trying to get on the tower, but having a little bit of time to survive. It goes down. They don't break the checkpoint, but that's a massive lead that Azure has created above Mictlan Heroes. Amazing.
Has yet to get that tower of mid, and they are really suffering for paint here. They are going to begin their first push. I don't know if they're riding it back to mid. However, it does look like they took the tower. They are really going to have to work on getting that paint control. Otherwise, Azure is really holding a solid lead here.
I will say for sure the one thing I've been noticing is that right now, compared to what I'm seeing from the statistics above on the top, the lack of armor from Mictlan Heroes does show that either the NZAP is not getting much support from its teammates, or they're just dying too much, because right now, right here, we see this Inkjet making a lot of difference. It's a wipe for Mictlan Heroes right now to take control of the tower and get more points. Azure is all coming from spawn, and will this be enough to get at least closer and closer to the second checkpoint?
Man, Heroes now, I'd be keeping an eye out for that blaster. I don't see them right now, but that blaster is really going to be putting in the work here, trying to shut down this push. The blaster is down, though, unfortunately, and it looks like Mictlan Heroes is working their way towards that second checkpoint.
The 52 trying to get the jump, didn't see it, that blaster coming in trying to stop the day, but it gets a trade. 38 points. It's a lead for Mictlan Heroes. Amazing, and it's almost wipe. Only the Condor alive. And it is definitely going to break the second checkpoint. The Blaster is trying their best, but at this point they are all desync and 1v3 Mictlan Heroes.
Mictlan Heroes is working down that third checkpoint. They are heading towards that KO as two members are down on the side of the Azure, and they do have a Booyah Bomb ready to go. And Mictlan Heroes is going to secure the KO in a 2v2 set.
Wow, that was a comeback of a century.
Talk about it.
Comeback. Although I do have to say, the moment I point out the armor was dying too much or was not provided, because legit it was two kills and 1 armor by the time they started their push. So you can see that everything happened in one single push from the NZAP. I wasn't checking the numbers for everyone, but damn, I think they heard me for some reason. But maybe the voice of reason here, but I'm not going to be a put self regarding. We're going to go for Game 5, Clan Blitz on Reef. Oh boy, this is going to be interesting.
Clan Blitz on Reef is a very interesting map mode combination. You really just have so much to work with there with that bridge. If you don't have bridge, you really got your work cut out for you. You have to push through court, and that's just really not the most secure way to push, just because it's so exposed.
And if you have someone pretty aggressive, just going for the sneak that goes straight to the basket, if you don't pay attention, you don't communicate with your teammates, that's definitely, indeed, gonna bite you in the butt. And you will lose a lot of points. And because these teams don't use any they mostly use Slayer comps, they mostly use very aggressive weapons. So I'm expecting a lot of flanks. Like Pika was trying to flank the tower from behind at the very end, but because not only they got called out and there was no ink underneath Pika, they couldn't stop the tower.
Be worried about Mictlan Heroes' momentum here. They are really working on a reverse sweep here, and just that TC push at the end there, once they got going, they did not stop. I would be keeping my eyes on them.
Oh yeah, and Azure does have a beneficial and interesting. We're now seeing the Kinsa Dynamo popping up this time. We're seeing no armor coming from Azure, which is interesting. Will they survive? Oh, sorry.
Actually, they are running armor with the Kunder. Yeah.
Damn. Thunder, I love you, but at the same time, you are forgettable because you don't show up anymore. Just ends up and tries to shadows you.
Hey, I actually love Kunder. It's a fantastic weapon if played well and supported in a good comp. And it looks like that Kunder is the one who scores using their shield to bring that right up the basket. They do have 3 clams, and it looks like they are milking that basket while their teams gather even more clams. 11 clams is a very concerning amount of clams for Azure to be holding right now.
And it's already close to 15 points already down. Azure has such a big lead, and the Thunder knows already how to position themselves, going back for defense position. Meanwhile, Mictlan here is trying to control a bridge, and they know the Thunder is the only one alive. So for them, they now have control of the bridge, and now Azure has to make sure they can survive at least one push. They have 3 specials to deal with right now, and it's now a matter of just patience and see who breaks it first.
Absolutely, you really want to be patient here. Unfortunately, that Slosh does go down. Azure has their Booyah ready as defense. I would be holding that. Unfortunately, they are getting ready to pop that and threaten the other Booyah. The Booyah uses their shield to shield themselves, and that power clam does go down on the side of Azure. They got a little bit greedy there, working their way up towards Street.
Nice work from Novex using that Booyah Bomb not to get splatted after the Booyah Bomb, but unfortunately got picked by the Dynamo at the end. And it's a good trade from the Dynamo against Pika because it guarantees the control of the mech for Azure. They are in position to at least get close to the basket and at least throw the power clam, not necessarily go for the most aggressive push. Pika right here with the power clam, trying as much as they can to completely outpaint the team and get a second armor so they can start pushing once again. I honestly thought someone fell in the water there, but I guess it wasn't. Pika almost close to the armor, pops in immediately, suctions are being thrown, bombs being thrown, booyahs are being thrown, and will be the power be thrown? At least Lex will go back to spawn, and it's the power being thrown. It's more points for Azure.
Azure is not... that they definitely were able to very cleanly secure the first victory in Clam Blitz. They are being extremely aggressive here. With that power, if that power clam scores, they are going to be able to KO. Unfortunately, the power clam does go down. LCD TV is dancing underneath basket, and Raze is over there on the other side of basket. That push is pretty significantly dead, though, as the power clam does go down.
There was a nice pick from Legal over there, trying to avoid getting picked, the well-thrown wall, but still Azure has control of the map. Mictlan Heroes has not been able to completely go back still. It's the second time they're actually going back from their spawn and having control of bridge this entire match. Just showing how Azure has completely dominated the match so far.
Yeah, not dominated the match, but dominated Clam Blitz, and it looks like that power clam is super jumping towards their own basket as defense, as Mictlan Heroes is preparing here for a solid push. They have 2 power clams as well as 9 clams. That is a very significant push. They could also use the opportunity to pick up all those clams in Azure Street. Unfortunately, it does look like the K-Gal does go down. That power clam is being very significantly threatened, and Mictlan Heroes falls back with their power clams towards their own street as Azure prepares for yet another push. That push wouldn't necessarily be to score points. It's definitely to keep Mictlan Heroes on their toes and shift the battle lines back towards Mictlan Heroes' base.
And finally, we had to see Mictlan Heroes score in this game with 60, but unfortunately 2 power clams are still so far away from the 16. They still have to compensate. If they go for the penalty, it's still gonna be at least 20 points to compensate, and it's still a big in order to score in under 1 minute. Mictlan Heroes is definitely, if they manage to score this, taking out the Dynamo, reducing the amount of paint, but they still only have a power clam, which is just 20 points. It's not enough. The bomb rush, the suction bombs are being pretty annoying, but Cass was being patient. He ends up was not feeding, and he managed to secure the power clam. They score. It one's down, but now 57. The basket is open. They need more clams. The inkjet finishes. Dafter cannot find a way to push in with the small clams, and the squeezer is just pushing 2 people away. The squeezer and the Nautilus, but unfortunately the basket will close and Dafter will go down, meaning that the push for Mictlan Heroes will go for a halt.
Absolutely. Pulled up a fantastic defense there. Not only that, but they managed to get 2 power clams. I would be very scared if I was Azure, Mictlan Heroes, with 10 seconds left in this match with Azure holding 2 power clams.
Yes, and we're going for the last. The 2 people are alive. They managed to score. 16, 17 clams. It is doable. This is lead if they manage to put all of them in. The overtime is ticking. If the basket closes, GG's. They are close to 16. They're close to it. They're taking the lead on the last minutes.
Mictlan Heroes with the solid overtime push there, taking the lead from a significant lead from Azure. Way to go, Mictlan Heroes, winning the set.
I'm gonna ask the DJ to substitute the songs for the Splatoon original soundtrack, and now I wanted to play "I Need a Hero" from Bonnie, because like, I need a hero. I'm calling out for Mictlan Heroes to the end of the night, which is true.
Talk about a reverse sweep from Mictlan Heroes, taking away all that momentum from Azure and just really putting in work there on Clamblitz. Absolutely. Wham, blam, thank you, ma'am.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I'm stealing it for later. And because this was a 5-match, we didn't go all 3. We can actually see who is gonna play on the finals. It is gonna be Paradox, having beaten Pickup against 3-1 results. Let me see the roster for Pickup. It was Misa, it was Lucas, it was Maureen, and unfortunately someone with a lot of JP characters that I do not know. That's my bad. And Paradox, on the finals, we're gonna see Splatitech, XVC, Luke, and Henry. If I incorrected said name of one of those players, please correct me in the chat. But yeah, we already have ready technically for finals. Oof.
Amazing. What a fantastic set. All that momentum from Mictlan Heroes. You could really feel it in that TC match. I'm looking forward to seeing what they can pull off here versus Paradox.
Now, the question that I actually ask is, who should be more afraid? Paradox or Mictlan Heroes? Because Paradox just saw, if they saw the stream, or at least the last few matches, they know what they're in for, and it is going to be a very good final match. Or
Absolutely.
is Mictlan Heroes scary?
Well, I know who I'm more scared of right now. If I was in this set, I would be very worried about Mictlan Heroes carrying that momentum into the next set.
Absolutely agree. Yeah, I think I cannot say anything. Mictlan Heroes is just gonna be an unstoppable wall. Imagine if Walls, the 52, like, it throws a wall, and in Splatoon 3 it just goes forward, as in like a little
tent
bit.
shield?
Yeah, like a tent shield.
Oh
Like, it now
my!
has wheels, but of course, like, I don't know. I'm just throwing ideas at this point because Mictlan Heroes wall is just like they're gonna keep pushing that further and further, and Paradox will definitely have to deal with that momentum.
Absolutely, that momentum is very scary. I'm sure Mictlan Heroes is having plenty of hype in their VC right now as they prepare for this next set.
Should we double check and let's see what the other brackets are looking like. Let's give a shout out to the other teams that are also playing, because like this is not just about Grey White. We can also say a little bit about Hammerhead. Just so we're waiting on the other team to join the PB. We're actually gonna see on Hammerhead, the Luau is already on the finals waiting for the opponent, and my man Popgun on Destiny Troops is playing on the semifinals of that, and I do want to see a Luau and Destiny Troops match later because I do think Popgun always stream those. And on the Mako, we're seeing Moonlight waiting for their final opponent, which is also went to the last match, Broken Controllers versus Puzzle Moon.
Wow, I'm very excited for all the teams participating in SOH tonight. Good luck on your matches, and I hope that you learn a lot from them.
Oh yeah. And the last shout out is going to be for the Lantern bracket with Geek, Squid, and Vaporwave. The score right now is 2-1 on the finals. Best of luck for them. Vaporwave just need one more match in order to win. And speaking of the maps, speaking of matches in general, we are gonna see Rainmaker Anchovy games, which is also something a little bit not very common as well, especially for Anchovy. People usually go for TC or zones on that.
Actually love Rainmaker Anchovy. I know I'm biased because I'm a blob main, and so like all the maps I love are super weird. But
You like
Rainmaker,
Rainmaker, don't you? You like more Rainmaker. I do feel it. Don't
how
you?
did you know? How did you know? That's my favorite map mode in the whole world.
You can say I've been playing this game since the beginning, but to be fair, you do try the trick from popping the Rainmaker all the way from pedestal, and just because you can stay away back so much, you do have more freedom to play as a blob. That's why, right?
Oh, absolutely. You want to push up that wall? Suction bombs. You want to push up that ramp? Suction bombs. You swim it up Overlook? Man, I am 50 meters above your head flinging bubbles.
I'm gonna give you a tip. because I don't know if you tried this. Do you know that little weird arc shake above the snipe? When you're dropping, you basically pass it on your right side when you're going from like every level until the bottom. So,
I think
throw a sprinkler over there. I think it's better if it stays 90 degrees perpendicular, not the one that's a little bit acute. And if you leave the sprinkler over there for a while, there is a chance you can get a sprinkler kill because it can hit people climbing the wall in front of you.
Oh,
I know about
love
this.
that.
I know about this because I played X-Flow Bubbles and I put a sprinkler over there twice, and that happened many times on the same match.
I live for the occasional sprinkler kill. Definitely.
And
Alright, and it looks like we are starting with Rainmaker Anchovy. Very excited for this set and seeing what comps both teams pull out.
I think we're already gonna see. I think I see a different tag for Carnage Gaming, so probably a sub. But of course, Carnage Gaming will always be like all subs are welcome, and in general, like I know Andrew from Carnage Gaming. That's the point. And like this is actually gonna be interesting to see what they are gonna bring to the table. And I think they go straight for the pop. Like we're seeing open gambit from the K shot right here. They can't finish that fast.
They really want to go for the quick KO here, though definitely something to be concerned about is Mictlan Hero's momentum. If you allow them to build up that momentum, they are going to really push you and push you hard. Shutting them down in the first minute and a half would definitely be a smart decision on the side of Paradox.
Splash going down from Paradox. They're trying to get a pick from the Rainmaker, trying to get control of mid in order to start the push. One does go down, but the Nautilus is left alone. But the NZF knows better. I'm not gonna push in. I'm just gonna pick the Rainmaker. He said, yeah, definitely, that does sound more safe. I'm not gonna die. I'm not gonna get splatted. And this Nautilus is probably on the left side. No, it's splatted. Okay, so they're pushing. That worked.
That works. Mictlan Hero's definitely a smart grab of the Rainmaker there. They not only use it to defend themselves and throw that not off guard, but they also managed to get a pretty decent lead for the first minute and a half. Not perfect, because obviously if you move that thing off fan, you're really going to be chunking points there. However, it's definitely a very good opening push.
Paradox right here. 3 people on the Nautilus. The Nautilus takes 1, but still took 1 down. It was a good, relatively good trade. Pick up now, go for Paradox. They're trying to advance. Bombs being thrown. The Junior will pick up the Rainmaker soon. I think they're just waiting for the armor. Here comes the flank from the 52 gal. Will they pick it up?
You really gotta be watching for that K-Gal. He is planning on sneaking his way up there and shutting things down.
It did cancel the push. It's now only the Nautilus. The Splash is just respawning. And Mictlan Heroes will not pushing any more further. Nice aim from the Nautilus. But if that... Damn, I was expecting the bucket to get the pick. Nope, I guess I was wrong. And now the Nautilus will try to get a pick.
Yeah, that did a fantastic job of keeping themselves alive there. Unfortunately, they do do go down to the other Nautilus. Mictlan Heroes does have a significant control of mid here. They really are going to have to fight for it, though, as that K-Gal pushes up. Excuse me, that Splash. Oh my, that poor Slosh in a 2v1 backed into a corner. You really gotta feel for him there.
I think the 4th time a player has been drawn into a corner, and one of the matchup was in general like 50-50 who is gonna survive. With Paradox right here, now pushing the Mictlan Heroes into a wall. They get the lead. They got to 44, which is almost a good lead to maintain. But with 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining, they will stop anything from Paradox, and Mictlan Heroes will now have to compensate for a long push. They have to at least drop from the fan. The Gal, yeah, right here, right now. We saw, once again, 2 people pushing in, and the Nautilus being backwards into a wall.
Is pushing up, though. They are just narrowly going to not be able to take lead there, unfortunately, on the side of Mictlan Heroes. Mictlan Heroes is really going to have to fight for mid here. Paradox is being extremely aggressive, chasing that poor Slosher all the way into the corner. Man, I don't know how they were able to hit that shot with the Nautilus, but they sure did.
Nautilus is a scary weapon, and I'm gonna say one more time, another player being thrown to the wall. Those points are where people have got splattered the most. It's amazing to see, and right now I think Paradox is just trying their best to at least maintain the control of mid so they can see flanks from the 52 so it doesn't happen again, because that took some time, and this lead right now is not safe anymore for Paradox, and I do believe they will try to get even further with this.
Yeah, I know those corners feel safe for people to fall back into, but at this point I would be very fearful of those corners. No, Lex! back into that corner. Never mind. The other player does jump out, preventing that corner fight there. And that 52 is working all their way up towards that goal, popping Booyah. They are going to use that and chuck that.
They are gonna go for the sneaky push on Rainmaker. They're going for the long one.
No!
Mictlan Heroes with the cheesy push.
Man, oh my, you either love to see it or you hate to see it. What a fantastic push there from Mictlan Heroes. Paradox was not prepared to defend from that.
I was gonna, yeah, that was interesting. That was the best minute of the match so far, and we almost managed to see a trade in between the Nautilus because that predict on the jump, that movement prediction in general was amazing. But what am I missing right now is an Inkjet standing above the wall and just shooting people from below. We do see that more on TC, but on Rainmaker it's still a little bit hard to do the setup because the TC is a little bit slower of an objective. Mictlan Heroes will throw again because why the fuck not? Or they basically can just put the Rainmaker over there and call it a game. 14 seconds remaining. They almost fell into the pits. Come on, don't be like that, please. Come on, Mictlan Heroes, don't fuck up. Wait, language.
Run away, Mictlan Heroes. You got 4 seconds left in the match. Unfortunately, the Rainmaker does go down. There is literally a second they do force it into overtime. Paradox has their work cut out for them if they want to be able to do anything with this push. Oh my gosh.
3 people by the Rainmaker. This is not good. They need people in front. The Nautilus is already going down. They don't. I don't think they have I saw movement on the back. I think there's gonna be a flip. No, it was just a name. I forgot. We can actually see the names. We don't need to worry about that. But the Rainmaker from Paradox is in a tight spot. They don't have a support to push it. They do get the Nautilus, but the counter itself on the Rainmaker is going near closer to 0. The turf in front of them, they're just basically spamming bombs and missiles at this point. The Rainmaker is alone. If they die, it was because of a bomb. I'm just gonna say it right there. It was because of a bomb of a Booyah bomb.
Rainmaker was so exposed there, and they do finally go down.
It was the counter,
securing
right?
the victory for Mictlan Heroes. No, I actually think it was a knot that took them out.
Really, I didn't see anyone. Basically, it was just like this. Yeah, basically a missed point. I missed that, but yeah, Mictlan Heroes secure first win. Oof.
What a fantastic match.
Also, 8 missiles with the K-shot. 8 missiles?
Excuse me, pop off.
Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. When people say that, I'm not saying like this is a critique regardless of who is playing, but I do agree that I think that I would give 10 points to the K-shot for more expensive special, because I do feel sometimes people just spam missiles, and because like the meta has changed a little bit, I would join this this club and myself. Also, I have a friend who literally all the weapons they play have been nerfed, and I do mean all of them to a point that is literally almost no fun to play.
Man, that is my biggest fear, that they take away the one shot from Blob. Oh my goodness. Biggest fear, not gonna lie. I had a solo queue lobby with 5 blobs in it the other day, and I was like, oh no, this is begging for a nerf.
This is a lot of turf, this is a lot of special, this is a lot of turf at the end, there's a lot of special indeed. Jesus Christ, actually 5 blobs in a lobby is scary as hell.
Yeah, it really was not fun for anyone who was not playing Blob in that lobby, but we are looking forward to Schellendorf's Splat Zone. It's interesting that you were just talking about the missiles and the K-shot just because of how much overhead cover you do here from, that you do have on Schellendorf to shield yourself from those missiles.
Oh, speaking of the protector, the glass itself, I actually am wondering, because we didn't see Mictlan Heroes play with any backliner yet, and After is waiting a little bit to pick the bucket again. But do you think that Paradox will pick a backline weapon for zones on Schellendorf, or because otherwise it's just like gonna be the Nautilus still, and then you're just gonna control glass? What do you think?
The Nautilus is definitely a solid choice here for controlling glass. You really don't need that much more range than that, however it is beneficial. I'm definitely curious to see what they pull out here, and perhaps even seeing our first backline of the set. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, but either way, they are going to choose that knot for their pseudo backline, and on both sides. So both of those Nautilus are really going to be competing for control of glass.
But now I do see something. Okay, I do understand you want to use opening gambits on Rainmaker because you do want to make the game quick. But now zones, I do feel that it is gonna be a little bit tricky. I mean, you're free to choose any gear you want, but I do understand. What do you feel it's in the head of a person that uses open gambits?
On zones, they're going for the quick KO and trying to lock them out. I do think LDE is the safer option for zones, just because once it's activated for the rest of the match. So you really can take advantage of that there. But it does look like Paradox is doing Mictlan Heroes is doing a good job of taking control of Glass here. They are losing control of the zone, but 2 people are down on the side of Paradox, and Mictlan Heroes is going to grab that zone again. They are also going to cancel that Booyah, which is pretty fantastic.
Yeah, Paradox did not pay attention to their in the Mictlan Heroes perspective, the left side. So the 52 just easily just swim over there, and like no one seemed to notice that they were doing that. And here it goes again. They are popping armor in order to start the push, but they did not pay attention to the suction bomb, and the Junior already lost their armor. It feels like Christmas. You broke your present as soon as you open from the box. How are you gonna play?
Yeah, absolutely. And look at that Junior dancing on Glass, just trying to put any sort of paint leading up for their teammates in order to access zone. That Junior does have their work cut out for them because Mictlan Heroes is holding a significant lead here, and that Junior is really trying to cap zone here to apply a little bit of penalty points on the side of Mictlan Heroes. They do manage to do that as 2 people do go down on the side of Mictlan Heroes. They are beginning to work down their points, clearing their penalty. That Inkjet is ready to pop, though. I would be looking out for that. And it does look like Mictlan Heroes does have all 4 of their specials ready to go for a counter push, and they are popping every last one of those specials, trying to clear out the members of the side of Paradox and get any picks. Unfortunately, they don't. They use all their specials, not a single pick. That Splash is ready to go with their Bomb Rush, though. I would be watching him. He does go down, unfortunately, taking his special out with him, but that K-Gow is prepared to pop the Booyah, and they do, as well as their Inkjet. Mictlan Heroes is pushed very far back. They are really going to have their work cut out for them in order to even access that zone, as they are 2 down. And it does look like Paradox here is pulling the lead. That is a fantastic job on Paradox there, because Mictlan Heroes was being extremely terrifying with that lead that they had, and they were managing to secure. 2 members do go down on the side of Paradox, make that 1 down on the side of Mictlan Heroes as well. They are probably applying a significant amount of pressure on zone here, trying to clear down their penalty points. They do have 2 minutes left in this match. It is certainly far from over. Paradox does take control of the zone, and it looks like it's going to be back and forth for quite a while.
Oh yeah, for sure. Sorry for a little bit of a technical issue I had. Indeed, Paradox getting control and getting the lead, and just basically now pushing in further. It's amazing. Just incredible how much pressure, and the armor's popping up right now, trying to get the control of the zone. Mictlan here is trying their best. They get 2 down. It's 4 people in zone. They definitely can get control, but Junior paid a little bit. Thank you very much. Applying the penalty to Paradox, and definitely now Junior go back in order to secure more turf so they can hold the zone for even further.
Yeah, Paradox is managing to hold the lead here. They do pop 2 of their specials. Looks like that Booyah is getting ready in order to mount a proper defense. There is an Inkjet there threatening zone, as well as somebody over there threatening Lex. It looks like that was the K-Gow, or no, the Junior. The Junior does go down. Mictlan Heroes is working on clearing their penalty points. They do really only have 5 points left to go before they manage to pull lead here. There is a minute left in the match, and it does look like Mictlan Heroes is going to pull lead here. Paradox doesn't have much time to work with. They are building up their special utility, and they are working their way up.
10 seconds on the point system. Mictlan Heroes will get the second win right here. They do need a Booyah bomb that will come in clutch. It gets clutch on the last point. They can do the bomb rush, but unfortunately everyone's also paid it as well. So this is a 50-50 on what the game wants to consider the winner. And will it be Mictlan Heroes? Will it be the Paradox? It's Paradox loss, so Mictlan Heroes win.
Man, talk about the fight for the zone at the end there. Man, they were fighting for that last point for possibly a good 15 seconds, but Mictlan Heroes did keep up the paint pressure. They were getting a pick on Paradox, and they were physically able to outpaint them. 11 armor is from that Junior, dude. And we are moving on to TC Mako Mart.
Please nerf armor. Please bring. Okay, the tank is cute, but completely unnecessary. Completely unnecessary. Just nerf the Junior back.
I don't know of a nerf is really necessary. I think the shift in the meta towards the double missile meta in order to cancel that armor, and not only that, but keep people from being in position in order to capitalize on that armor, is going to be the next wave of what we see here in the meta.
I mean, that's true actually. Yeah. Although technically, we're just speaking, if you look for a zones comp on JP, you mostly see just one armor, not two, but it's just 11 armors. Come on, 11 armors is a little bit too much.
They were putting in work for those armors, though. They were. I don't think they went down that much throughout that last match. It would be that armor would be a symbol of longevity as opposed to paying for it.
Yeah. It's just sometimes I do like. Here's the thing, I do understand people dropping from competitive because it gets stale. Like for example, when I see a Smash match compared to like Brawl, where Meta Knight was the meta, but like right now I see Ganondorf winning in most matchups. I do feel that at least Ultimate's a little bit more balanced and at least more fun if it's not just two top tiers playing.
I don't know a lick about the Smash meta. I do understand a little bit about the Splatoon meta. I wouldn't consider myself an expert. I do think the shift in the meta is going to happen regardless, though, because Devil Armor is simply not sustainable.
Oh yeah, definitely. And with TC on Mako, there's already too much the Mictlan heroes will have to, because the control of the map seems to have gone to Paradox. Gal going for the long flank, no one noticing the call, everyone's in front of the Gal, and the Gal basically just booyah bombs trying to stop the tower, and now Gal is just trying to, no, I didn't do anything, ignore me, please, I'm just gonna shark here and not die to your missiles.
Yeah, and it looks like Paradox is working on clearing that first checkpoint. Look at how purple that map is. They are really focusing here on locking out Mictlan heroes. That tower is extremely close to their snipe there, or bunker there, and they unfortunately the tower rider does go down. There is currently nobody on the tower on the side of Paradox.
With now Mictlan heroes attempt to stop the tower once more. Will they be able to start their push, because it's still 2 down, one person is just respawning, and the slosher, the soul, I keep missing for some reason my S's, and the right here the bucket is trying their best, trying to get control of mid, and the wall annoyance, and they cannot get rid of the Gal. The armor goes down once again. I think this is happening at least a little bit to what we saw on the first the Pits TC match. The zap from Mictlan heroes is struggling a lot, and once again just like not getting enough armor for their teammates. The Junior already got 3 armors, the Enzap 2, but at least they're keeping themselves more alive.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that Zap does have their work cut out for them. It does seem like TC is not something they really enjoy. But Mictlan Heroes has yet to get that tower out of mid. I would not be counting Mictlan Heroes out. This is feeling very familiar to their match last set. You don't want to be taking bets against Mictlan Heroes momentums once they get that push going.
Definitely. With first checkpoint right here, Mictlan here is trying their best. The Gal jumps in, gets picked by the bucket, and now 2 people trying to get the checkpoint a little bit faster. Gal drops off, trying to get the bucket a little bit more space in order to be feeding the jumps. Everyone from Mictlan Heroes comes back into place, and right now the booyah bomb does help breaking the first checkpoint, pushing the Paradox people away. They do get as far as they can, but at some point Mictlan Heroes got wide, at least breaking the first checkpoint.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately, Mictlan Heroes does go down in the wipe. There are 2.5 minutes left in the match, though, and there is a very narrow lead between the two. This is a very narrow match. And then the Zap does go down again on the side of Mictlan Heroes, taking their armor out with them. Unfortunately, that is a bit of a disadvantage for Mictlan Heroes, as Paradox does have their armor ready to go. Not only do they have their armor, but they do have that Inkjet and Poppet. They are pushing Mictlan Heroes as far back as they can and increase their lead down to 43.
Closing in on the second checkpoint was indeed pretty awesome from Paradox, but right here, the Nautilus was not gonna survive. I'm trying to take as much people as I can, but unfortunately the Inkjet was just having a little bit of trouble, but in the end, the Nautilus went down, and now Mictlan Heroes will try their best and hope the ends up doesn't get splattered in the meantime. With the 52 Gal down, it's 3v4 happening right here. The Inkjet trying to get the pick on the Nautilus. It gets the pick, but it was a trade. They're getting closer and closer to the final checkpoint, and it is lead to Mictlan Heroes. We could see this is like the 3rd match. Remember, a team needs to win 4 matches in order to win SOS 36. breaking.
Yeah, absolutely. This is feeling extremely familiar to Mictlan Heroes' last TC match that we saw last set on Piranha Pit. They are pushing all the way down for the KO, extremely aggressive. One member, and Mictlan Heroes is wiped with 4 remaining. This is not the end of the match. Paradox is working on painting up, and that tower is heading back to mid.
Incredible, incredible. Just 4 miserable points. Oh god, don't die to a bomb, please. You need to preserve yourself. You need to defend now, because pretty much if you die to a bomb on stream, it's not gonna be good looking. And now Paradox has the most arduous task. They do not take 1 checkpoint. They do not just get the. You need to get 2 checkpoints and get close to knocking out. Basically, you just need to knock out in 30 seconds in with 4 specials. Bomb, we a bomb, armor doesn't go off because the junior got flatted, and that seems Paradox will have struggled trying to continue their push.
Yeah, absolutely. Paradox is wiped, and unfortunately that Booyah does take down their Nautilus on the way out. Mictlan Heroes is getting on that tower, not necessarily to complete their push, but in order to defend it. They do have a significant control of mid here. They are shifting the battle lines towards Paradox's base here, and Paradox has their work cut out for them. Not only do they need to grab that tower, but they also need to paint up all of mid and a significant portion of Mictlan Heroes' territory.
Suction bomb taking 1 person out. Good job with that, but unfortunately 2 people. That tower is not gonna be on your control, Paradox, and the Booyah bomb takes care of it, and it's 3rd-0 for Mictlan Heroes.
Wow, Mictlan Heroes definitely working up with that momentum that they have with TC, and the momentum that they're carrying in from their last set, holding this set 3-0.
Take a deep breath, and now I'll be honest. Do you know the definition of irony, Skeppy?
What? Do I know the definition of irony? Yeah.
Yeah. Irony right now would be Paradox winning all the matches, basically do what Mictlan Heroes did to Azure. Because I do like content, and I do mean content in general, I am now cheering for Paradox to win all 4 matches, because it will be the most ironical thing in the world, at least today. There's a lot of things in the world.
Yeah, a reverse sweep from Paradox is not out of the question here. They should be taking a deep breath, collecting themselves, and trying to figure out what their plan of attack here is against Mictlan Heroes on Clam Blitz Starfish.
No, Rainmaker. Oh yeah, sorry. I was looking at the other map because I got scars from Rainmaker just playing Jet Scorcher. But Clam Blitz Starfish. Oh boy, I do feel a lot of flanks are gonna come from the either left or right immediately. None from Mictlan Heroes or Paradox uses curling bomb, so no one's just gonna rush very fast through mid. So at least 1 flank is gonna be expected. At least that's my prediction.
Yeah, absolutely. I personally don't have much experience on Clam Blitz Starfish. I do love Rainmaker Starfish. How do you feel about Clam Blitz Starfish?
I play Bamboo, and the Bamboo server was like, why do you play Bamboo here? It makes no sense. So I think I'm just gonna race spam with Jet Scorcher. As long as I have control and I have an idea that no one's flanking my teammates, I try to concentrate my specials on the front so we can start a push, and that's basically how I play since I am the backliner.
I don't think we're going to be seeing I don't think we're going to be seeing any Jets here, unfortunately, or any Stingrays either.
I'm used to that.
I definitely see the K-Gal continuing. It is just a wonderful, fantastic Clam Blitz weapon, and it looks like the match is going to start. It doesn't look like someone clicked in there, so I hope they had their gear ready to go.
Was it Dafter again? Because Dafter's just playing bucket. Dafter, you just press A. It's a button on your control. It's like here.
Maybe he's doing it on purpose. We don't know.
I mean, that's why people say NA screens be like that.
Yeah, and the match begins, and we are seeing that K-Gal come out as well as a junior on both sides. That Zap is switching out for the junior, which is the first comp change that we've seen here from Mictlan Heroes in a hot minute.
Paradox playing with the orange and Zap. Oh yeah, you see, here's the flank, and basically, yeah, I called it out.
Beautiful flank. Absolutely. Oh
RNG
man!
gods on the 52 were on your side today, but they don't have enough clams. Just 7 is not enough to break a basket, my good friend Lex, not Lex.
Yeah, they just simply didn't have the clams yet because the match has just started. They have to be able to not only get those clams, but keep that pressure up. They were just putting so much pressure and focusing on their offense that they didn't get any clams. And unfortunately, by the time they do get those clams, the members of Paradox do respond. Paradox is being extremely aggressive here, taking advantage of the opportunity that they have created for themselves by wiping 3 members of Mictlan Heroes. They don't have the clams yet either, and this is feeling like a small repeat of history. It looks like Luke 7. They should be tossing clams to each other. They are just really dancing all over the place trying to gather these clams.
Notice how efficient Luke was trying to be when collecting clams. Even though Luke has Ninja Squid on their 52 Gal set, Luke is trying their best just to keep the map painted and make sure no one from Mictlan Heroes is flanking, which I think is like something that you always should be paying attention when on Starfish, because Starfish itself, I would say that you can always expect the unexpected from all the sides, specifically if you're playing from line. And right here, the bucket sees the opportunity. It takes down the Junior, which is bad for Paradox, but unfortunately it gets picked by whoever. I missed that. I lost who it was, but you see what I mean. Like, great game sense from the Tri-Slosher, and not so great from the Junior, not noticing that there was someone sharking and the bucket would be much of a problem.
Yeah, absolutely, and that clam is both teams are holding clams here, and they both are tied in the amount of clams. That Splash does have their special though. They do pop Inkjet, and they are working their way up. It does look like, unfortunately, when that knot went down, Mictlan Heroes lost a significant portion of their clams.
They went for a swim. They forgot their swimsuit, and the power is gone. The Mictlan here is gonna score the first score of the match with almost basically half of the match already gone. Starfish is interesting because you can score so much if you just manage to score properly. I would say it's kind of different from Handpack game in general, which like were multiple sequences of pushes.
Yeah, absolutely. Mictlan Heroes is Mictlan Heroes is scoring a significant amount of clams here, bringing the lead all the way down to 23 remaining. It doesn't look like they have any more clams, so they are jumping out with those, and Paradox is working to push their way up. There are 3 members down on the side of Mictlan Heroes, but Paradox does not have control of mid here, nor the amount of clams in order to prepare for a proper counter push. They are working on that, grabbing their power clam, but Mictlan Heroes is preparing for the defense as all of their members come out of spawn.
The Splash trying to set up the Inkjet, so because with 3 specials right now, they are cautious about the flanks. They eventually will try to do the Inkjet. I do feel that there is a Gal sharking. Yeah, there is someone sharking for the flank, and that's what the Splash was working. But the Junior was the one flanking. That was a little bit unorthodox. Here comes the Inkjet battle. Someone died to the Inkjet. If there was the Booyah before the Inkjet got picked, but it's finally Paradox time to shine. They get 1 power clam and just a Splash remaining, and it's just gonna be 80 points. At least they open the score, and it's not gonna be a 0 in case they lose, but still potential for winning for Paradox.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't look like Mictlan Heroes is going to go for that pity clam. They're going to hold that possibly for an overtime threat. However, they do manage to get yet another power clam from Not Lex, and they're getting a significant number of kills. That 52 is the only one up. 52 does go down, and that it looks like Not Lex is swimming all the way back for the pity. And they are pushing.
After getting so close, but the Toxic Mist just applied the amount of penalty on the speed of the player in order to not be able to throw that power. The Inkjet gets a very good important pick on at least 2 people. We don't know if it was necessary or not, but you get the point. 2 people out down from Paradox. They got trying their best to at least get closer and closer in order to at least throw. But technically speaking, they just need to control mid and still be aggressive so Paradox doesn't do anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Mictlan Heroes has a significant portion of mid here, and when you have paint control on clams, you are denying your opponent's clams. Paradox is going to have to work really hard in order to be able to get any clams, let alone make a power clam in the final 30 seconds of this match. Mictlan Heroes is being extremely aggressive here, going for yet another push, or at least the threat of one, and they are going. Cass here is going to score, breaking the barrier. The basket is open, and we have 10 seconds left in this match.
With the penalty now being given, we are gonna start the countdown of the annoying 16 beeps of the game, which I cannot hear, but Paradox needs to power, needs to get enough clams, and needs to score.
They are working.
Please don't miss it. Just please don't miss it. With 3 powers, the Gal does get shredded, and it's even harder now. Oh, the armor wasn't fast enough in order to give for the Gal. They might manage to score, but unfortunately the beeps were over. And Mictlan Heroes is the champion of SOS number 36.
Wow, what a fantastic set for Mictlan Heroes, going 4-0 over Paradox. Paradox did put up a fantastic fight there throughout this last set, but Mictlan Heroes is going to emerge victorious. Congratulations.
congratulations to Mictlan Heroes, congratulations to Paradox. You both teams fought brilliantly. We managed to see Mictlan Heroes all the way from semifinals, and just watching them play all the way to the finals was an amazing journey. I had a lot of fun commentating Mictlan Heroes victory today, and now I actually am curious to see the other brackets. Let's have a look at them.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to see what's going on over there. Once again, congratulations to Mictlan Heroes for winning Sink or Swim. Swim or Sink 36.
Just
Don't laugh, you did it earlier.
No, I'm obliged to laugh because I laugh at my own self too. Damn it! Now, I sometimes don't like the battle fight. It doesn't log me in every time. But anyway, let's continue. The 36. Also, keep in mind that this week we're gonna have Low Ink. A little bit of advertisement over here. So watch once again Ink Performance Lab Studios perform a streams for Low Ink. We're gonna have once again 2 days for our amazing tournament, and I hope you guys will be there to join us as well, where we'll be tackling all of those amazing players from Low Ink themselves.
Absolutely, and you'll be able to catch Fern and I opening the tournament.
Oh yeah, we are opening the tournament.
That's right, don't forget. I certainly haven't forgotten. I'm very much looking forward to Low Ink, and I hope the rest of you are too.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward indeed. So for Grey White, this one was the one you just saw. Hammerhead, unfortunately we do not have the scores, but we do have the third place results. Destiny Troops, congrats for being the third place for the Hammerhead Bridge, so round of applause. And the first and second place is still a fighting between Luau and Murmuro, but neither of them, and I do blame Skid from Luau for not posting the results, so we don't know who's winning. On the Mako bracket, it seems that Moonlight Capital has a 2-1 over Puzzle Moon on the finals, and Couch managed to take the third place against Broken Controllers. And on Lantern, to finish it off, Geek Squid managed to win, and with Twilight Anglers on third place. So Geek Squid first place, Vaporwave second, Twilight Anglers third, and Typhoon fourth place. Congratulations to all the teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic sets here tonight, and I hope everyone had a wonderful time playing and watching.
And commentating on the side. I wish I could have seen, but because I don't trust the Wi-Fi that I am, I didn't have the stream on, so I couldn't say hello to everyone. We're about to raid Blue Tulip. I think they are playing one of the sets. Oh yeah. Also, I forgot to mention. Before Low Ink, we have TG Testing Grounds or King of the Castle.
It would be King of the Castle this week.
King of the Castle.
Yeah. Oh, never mind.
No King of the Castle this week.
No King of the Castle this week. It has been moved. We will keep you updated over on the IPL server on Discord regarding that. Absolutely. So, Fern, where can the people find you?
They can find me on Twitter and in Chicago, but that I will keep it to myself. So Twitter, I'll just say @superfern013. I've been a little bit slow because right now I'm a little bit busy regarding where the hell I'm gonna live in the next few months. Hope I catch you all on Riptide. And if you don't see after Low Ink, but we will see as it goes. What about you, Skeppy? Where can they see you or hear from you?
Yeah, absolutely. You can find me at Twitter as seen on screen at Skepadillions, and you can also find me here on Twitch.
Amazing. So with this, we're gonna be signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you next time for Low Ink. Bye bye.
Bye.